We're doing it again.
Hell
It's
yeah.
us, San Diego Sports 760. And my goodness, this is an exciting day. We have a couple of announcements to make off the top.
We do?
The Padres and the NBA postseason, which was exciting last night for one team. And even the NFL will not take the lead of this show. A different sport for very different reasons will. But before we get to any of that, we're going to be enjoying a maple old fashioned today.
Yeah. Yeah, we are.
On a Bar Car Friday brought to you by Keg and Bottle, 10 locations around San Diego. Woodinville Bourbon is going to be in studio, and we are going to enjoy sipping some whiskey. We're also going to be enjoying a maple bourbon old fashioned, which I can't wait for because to me, that just screams breakfast.
Right, of course.
Don't get me wrong. Richie likey tequila, but tequila shots at like 8 a.m. There are times where I'm like, whew, okay, mental prepared. Okay, let's go.
Well, sometimes it's like the first one is like, whew, that's the ramp up for sure.
Yeah. Let's try this neat first. You know what? Maybe not. Maybe not.
And you feel differently about bourbon?
Yeah, actually, well, when it's paired with maple syrup, I'll tell you right now.
I mean,
spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down.
Feels like I'm drinking an adult donut.
Yeah. Which, by the way, coming up tomorrow, this show is going to be in Disneyland. We do the afternoon drive show on 101.5 KGB Classic Rock. So if you're interested in listening between 3 and 7, we're going to be on the air today as well over there. And this weekend, because of our affiliation with said station, we're going to be at Disneyland for Pixar Fest.
Hell yeah, dude.
We're going to be hanging out with the characters, and we're going to be taking photos and videos. So follow us at 101 KGB. Also follow us at Big Rich TD Fletch. We're going to be running around there, no question about it, having a lot of fun. But we're going to, I don't know if you guys read the whole itinerary. We're going to be actually having maple bacon donuts.
Yes, I saw that.
Yeah. That's going to be our Sunday morning breakfast at, our last engagement that we're responsible for.
Should we show Mickey about the maple old fashioned?
Yeah. So as we're eating that donut, I'm going to do my best not to sneak the ingredients, the accoutrement for a bourbon maple old fashioned, because to me, nothing sounds like a better idea than having one of those and one of those. Mm-hmm. And, when you have one good thing in one hand, you have one good thing in the other hand. You know what you have? You got two good things.
That's right. And we learned that.
Yeah. We learned that from a very, very smart man a very, very long time ago. Right, Fletch?
What's that snarled face?
Yeah, he's sitting there drumming his fingers on the desk. I was giving you a compliment.
I appreciate it.
Man, oh man.
But here's the biggest story of the day.
Yeah.
Law and Order.
Yeah.
So we have updates, actually.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm sure
coming in fast and furious.
If you haven't heard yet, Scottie Scheffler was arrested this morning.
Yeah.
He is the world's #1 golfer with the third best odds to win the PGA Championship. He was arrested outside the Valhalla Golf Club this morning, and that might be breaking news to a lot of people. But he was arrested because, there was a terrible accident, including a fatality, right outside Valhalla Golf Club, which is actually why the PGA Championship has been delayed a little bit for round 2. Scottie rolled up, 20, 30 minutes after the accident and had an altercation with a police officer.
Yeah.
Well, what happened was, this is what happened. So I don't know. Altercation, I guess, is fair. He basically was trying to drive around the traffic caused by this shuttle bus hitting and killing a pedestrian or somebody trying to cross the street, which, again, loss of life, awful. The lead story here really is the person who was killed and the person, the family of the person who suffered a fatality this morning. That's awful. However, Scottie stole the headlines because while trying to get to the driving range, I assume ahead of his Friday match at the PGA Championship, he drove on the median for about 20 or 30 yards. Police officers were like, yo, stop the car. And he just kept on hustling on down. So finally, a police officer actually grabbed onto his vehicle where he was dragged for a few steps, Scheffler finally got on the brakes, didn't lower his window for about 30 seconds. And when he did, police officers pulled him from his vehicle, slapped handcuffs on him, and walked him over to a cruiser. Jeff Darlington, ESPN reporter, was there on the scene. He videotaped the entire thing. He put it up on his Twitter or X.com account. And Scottie Scheffler spent the morning in jail.
So we have updates on his charges. He's facing charges of second-degree assault of a police officer, third-degree criminal mischief, reckless driving, and disregarding traffic signals from an officer directing traffic. He was released at 8:40 a.m. Eastern time. He's heading to Valhalla now. The assault charge is a felony. Others are misdemeanors, and we have a mugshot of old Scottie.
I missed the mugshot.
Oh, yeah. He's wearing the orange jumpsuit and everything.
Orange jumpsuit, V-neck. Very hairy chest. Looks like he belongs on this show.
Yeah.
Wow.
But there it is on the TV.
Oh yeah, there he is.
Yeah,
Doesn't look bad.
But this is throwing a wrench in everything because Scottie Scheffler was supposed to tee off about 30 minutes from right now. And obviously the entire tournament's been delayed. The PGA actually has rules in place for something like this. And a circumstance out of the player's control. He will not face any penalty from the tour in terms of this golf tournament, and he will be able to tee off and play as scheduled.
What if he wins?
Cool.
I know that's what I'm feeling too.
His betting lines were jumping all over the place this morning.
Up and down.
Yeah, Jonas was talking about it earlier on Two Pros and a Cup of Joe, but DraftKings took him from, I think he was sitting around plus 500 this morning before any of this happened to win the whole tournament. He jumped all the way up to plus 900 and now is back down to plus 450. So his odds have actually improved since all of this started happening.
Yeah, look, here's the crazy thing about Scottie Scheffler. Here is the amazing thing about Scottie Scheffler is this is in a lot of ways very common. I don't want to say very common. It's uncommon. It's uncommon to be number one in the world. It's uncommon to be in trouble, or I should say in the public eye for something negative when you are number one in the world. But Tiger Woods did it.
Yep.
I mean, Tiger Woods at the top of his game, at the top of his dominance of the PGA. Now, I don't think anything happened the day of a tournament, but certainly Tiger Woods was involved in certain scandals and things like that amid a run like we've never seen. Scottie Scheffler is on a historic pace. I don't know if he's going to ever topple some of the records that Tiger Woods set, but I mean, he had an incredible opening round. Or no, it was Schauffele who actually had the incredible opening round.
Scheffler was pretty good too.
Yeah,
But
he finished 400
round. Yeah.
Scheffler had a great second shot.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah.
His eagle.
That
was crazy.
Oh, it was insane.
Circle that card twice. It was look, it was good. It was a solid first round, and here getting ready for the second round, like we see right now, his tee time is set for 10:08 Eastern time now. So that's going to be around 7 o'clock.
An hour from right now.
He's going to tee off at the PGA Championship amid a morning arrest and booking. Like, they literally took mugshots of him, then released cognizance so he could go golf at Valhalla Golf Club.
Now, if he's facing felony charges, how bad can this get?
A felony conviction in Kentucky can mean anywhere from 1 year to life in prison or the death penalty. I mean, so if it's from 1 year, I guess if they give him jail time, that would be the minimum time on a felony.
He just had a baby.
They're not going to give him
jail time.
No. Listen, here's the deal. Yeah, he didn't strike an officer. The assault charge against the officer is related to the fact that as the officer was trying to stop him,
correct.
The charge is related to that, the fact that he dragged an officer for a couple of steps while he was holding on to his car. Like, this isn't going to be, look, trust me, this is going to be good for, I guess, the Kentucky Police Department or whatever, the Louisville Metro Police, whoever arrested him, because they're going to have they're going to have their PR moment where they look like heroes because they took, some very privileged person and they're making an example of him. And then he's going to have the charges knocked down because he has great lawyers. And this is barely going to be a blip on the radar.
In the ESPN story, Jeff Darlington wrote this morning, I guess there was a moment where as the police officer was taking Scottie Scheffler into the cruiser to book him, Scottie saw Jeff Arlington, made eye contact, and said, "Can you help me out?"
Yeah, there's video. Actually, you can go to Jeff Darlington's Twitter. I watched it this morning. So he looks over his shoulder and he goes, "Is there anything you could do?" And you hear Jeff Darlington, who's holding the iPhone. He's filming this whole thing. He's going, "Okay, officer, is there?" And then you just hear the officer, or you will hear the officer going, "Get back, get back." It's pretty gnarly what happened out there this morning. Again, a person died, and that is awful. A very, very sad part of this story, and that's the reason for all the traffic. And I'm sure, by the way, at many other tournaments, when there is traffic out front of a golf course, many times golfers will scoot around it, and then when police stop them, they'll lower the window and they'll say, "Hey, I'm a golfer," and they'll say, "Oh, okay, come through."
Yep.
But this was a crime scene,
yep.
So there was a different level of tension going on, as we just saw Scottie Scheffler leave a vehicle where he was dropped off at the front of the Valhalla Golf Club.
He's still in the jumpsuit.
No,
that'd be so sweet.
He's back in his polo and his quarter zip.
It's the jumpsuit, but it's got every endorsement on it. I agree with you, Rich. I think I think that Scottie didn't realize he was doing something that was out of the norm. I don't think that Scottie knew, and this is just my speculation because I don't know what was told to anybody at the moment. I doubt that Scottie knew that there was a tragic accident up in front of him. He probably thought, "Oh God, I got caught behind the traffic just heading into the course.
Yeah,
I'm going to go around like I normally do." I don't know what this cop is doing. Yeah, hey, look, I'm a golfer, man. I'm a golfer. And then now we're here. I'm leaning on the side of, and I'm not trying to poo-hoo anything. And I mean, it is awful. It is a tragedy. This is kind of stupid. I mean, that's where I'm leaning here.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I appreciate how difficult it is to be a police officer.
1,000%.
Many family members and a couple of my assistant coaches in high school were police officers, and the stories that you hear from them are harrowing. These people live their lives as almost like the opposition, right?
Right.
You know, they have to walk up to every car they pull over and worry about, am I going to make it home to my kids and my wife today, or my kids and my husband today, depending on gender or whatever, or orientation. Like it's a difficult job. So when you have a tense situation where somebody was struck by a bus and killed, and all of a sudden some entitled, you know what, is cruising up on the median, running over flares potentially, or not stopping when officers are shouting at his vehicle, and not stopping when an officer grabs onto the vehicle and is being dragged for a few steps. Yeah, I'm pulling the SOB out of the car too. I'm slamming him against the car he's driving in, and I'm arresting him also because that person is an a-hole.
And that person's excuse is, I need to go hit a little ball.
Yeah, like now, don't get me wrong, when this all blows over, Scottie Scheffler, who, I mean, is America's good guy, you know, he's a bright shining face of golf right now. You know, you just mentioned it. He's a new dad. Like, yeah, this story is going to go away, but it doesn't excuse the behavior.
The memes won't go away.
All the very valid points, by the way.
The memes are already here, man. There's a meme of Scottie Scheffler in the mugshot, and he has the orange jumpsuit on. And somebody said, "Oh, I guess Scottie's going with Ricky Fowler's look for round 2 at the Valhalla." I do have the audio from Jeff Darlington. I don't know how great it's going to come across radio, but we'll give it a shot. Jeff Darlington trying to help Scottie Scheffler.
Later on in that same clip, you hear the officer like, "Oh, I know. Yeah, he's going to jail." like that. The end of the clip is pretty funny. Look, Scottie Scheffler, the first things out of his mouth, and because it would be the first things out of my mouth as well if I were in his situation, I would say, guys, I'm a golfer. I'm late getting in. I'm so sorry, but I was just trying to get to the golf course. And I'm sure they went, yeah, that's fine and all, but this is a crime scene that you just drove through, so you're going to jail. And that's how that conversation started, and that's how that conversation ended.
1 felony and 3 misdemeanors. Man, this guy's an outlaw.
Tell you
what. Also looks way better with a beard.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, my God. We got on one screen, we got his, I guess it's his PGA Tour pick. And then on the other screen, it's just a picture of him.
He's got a weird chin.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it's weird or not. It just looks better with a beard.
You guys ever been arrested?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Story time.
What?
When I was a freshman in college, I mean, it's not all that great of a story, but when I was a freshman in college, we went back home to New York, or I went back home to New York. Well, that's where I grew up. And it was I guess, when was it? It was around Thanksgiving time. So it was a break. We weren't very good that year. So we weren't going to a bowl game, all that stuff. Anyways, so I'm home for the holidays, go out with a bunch of friends. We all got banged up. One of my friend's dads actually is the one who took us out. And then we're going to a diner late night. We pulled up next to a car full of 20-something-year-olds, and we were, teenagers to 20-year-olds, and a bunch of words start flying. We get into a huge fight, and one of my buddies drops his wallet during the fight because he was a wrestler. So he wrestled one of the dudes to the ground. We are back at his house because his dad, like I said, was driving us, and everybody is talking about what happened. Oh my God. And this and that. And, my knuckles are split open because
you broke it on some dude's forehead.
Well, it was a little bit of that. And also through their car windows because,
whoops.
Yeah. Anyways. So I'll fast forward to when we realized that one of my buddies dropped his wallet. His dad was actually a retired detective who used to work in the NYPD. So he drove back to the scene of the crime and ended up meeting other police officers because the police were called by the restaurant. He explained the whole thing, found his son's wallet, it was in one of the officers' hands already. They since we basically fled the scene, one of us was in trouble. Well, so they described the person who did the most damage, and what do you know? It was old Tricky Dicky Ornberger. And so I got cuffed, and actually, I don't even think they cuffed me. I think they just put me in the backseat of a cruiser. They drove me to the first precinct, Mineola, in Long Island, New York. I sat there for what felt like an eternity. I think it was 4 or 5 hours. Oh, actually, you know what? This was Thanksgiving Eve, now that I remember it, because what happened when they did let me out on my own recognizance, I had to go to my grandma's house for dinner. Before I went to my grandma's house, because I had split open my knuckles so badly punching car windows, I had to have my knuckles sewn back together at the hospital, right by my grandma's house. So I went there with the cops, got that done, went back to the precinct. They finally let me go. My parents, I think, or my buddy's dad signed the paperwork for me. I get dropped off at home. This is a fiasco. But now it's time for Thanksgiving dinner. So very much like Scottie Scheffler, the day must go on. So I throw on my Thursday's best, and we go over to grandma's house. So grandma makes the turkey, she makes the fixins, the stuff, and everything. And I'm sitting down the other end of the table, and I got bandages all over my right hand. And so I'm eating peas or mashed potato or whatever the hell. And all of a sudden she goes, "I am so upset with you, Richard." And I'm like, "What did I do, Grandma?" The story we told her was that my hand went through a window because we were replacing a window I broke at our house. She was like, "I know you weren't replacing a window this morning." And and I was like, "No, Grandma, that's not true." She goes, "I know you weren't." She was like, "You were fighting again." What? And I was like, no, that's not true.
What'd Joe Pa have to say about it?
Oh, no, Joe never. Well, that's not true. Joe did find out about it. Joe did find out about it, but it never got written up in the paper locally. It never got written up in the paper in Pennsylvania. And so somehow this all got swept under the rug, but I did have to take Greyhound bus rides back to New York to get to go to court dates for an entire spring.
Swept under the rug until now.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, but I mean, it's been a sponge from my record because I was a very good boy after that.
Good. But you could tell you already had that professional athlete mentality because you were able to compartmentalize and jump right in and just crush it on Thanksgiving.
Oh my God. Yeah, dude.
I mean, you got right back in the right mindset.
Potatoes, turkey, nothing was slowing me down. Honestly, nothing was slowing me down.
Man.
The gravy, you should have seen me with the gravy. It was unreal.
How do you think Scottie plays today?
Well, look, I think he's a pro. Obviously, he's a pro, but I mean, I think he will get into the mindset, and I think he crushes it today. I mean, like
I already took his less than on Prize Picks for birdies made.
Like Aaron Rodgers. Remember Aaron Rodgers? Not Aaron Rodgers. Brett Favre. Brett Favre, his dad passed away. Like it was the same day as of some big game. And Brett Favre went out there and absolutely rocked it. I feel like that's the same kind of mindset here. You use it to fuel you.
Yeah.
Or for the love of the game with Kevin Costner. Everything going on around him. He doesn't even know he's throwing a perfect game.
No. Oh, yeah. The night before the game, you're absolutely right. On December 21st, 2003, Brett Favre's father, Irvin Favre, died in a tragic car accident at 58. He suffered a massive heart attack behind the wheel. And you're absolutely right. He went out there, and I forget the game. Oh, it was Monday Night Football on December 22nd.
And it was like Brett Favre could do no wrong. Yeah. It was crazy. It
was against the Raiders. Home Oakland crowd actually cheered for Favre. The performance followed the curse, blah, blah, blah. Okay, he threw for 2 touchdown passes in each of the first and second quarter for 311 yards in the first half alone. Green Bay led 31-7 at halftime.
Our buddy Xavier on YouTube remembers it. Says 5 touchdowns.
Yeah, I mean, ridiculous.
Finished the night 22 of 30 for 399 yards. The Packers' record improved to 9-6. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, but I don't think there's any middle ground here. It either fuels him and he rocks it, or
he shoots a 108.
Yeah, and he's done.
It's a great point. Yeah, either this is going to be his last day of the tournament and he's not going to make the cut, or he's going to have the round of his life. I agree with you. I don't think there's any gray area here. I think this is going to be either an impressive day or an absolutely awful day.
2nd-degree assault of a police officer, 3rd-degree criminal mischief, reckless driving, disregarding traffic signals.
So has that first one been downgraded? Because I thought it was first.
No, it was. I always heard it was second, but that 2nd degree is a felony.
Okay,
yeah, not a misdemeanor.
God, what a mess. Imagine, like, because his wife was probably sleeping in with the newborn baby, like, and she wakes up and all over her phone are notifications. Scottie was arrested?
Yeah.
Her mom. Who did you marry? He's the father of your child.
Unbelievable. We have some NFL news. We will give you any golf updates as they become available, as Scottie Scheffler has arrived at Valhalla Golf Club, and he will be teeing off in just about 45 minutes. So I'll update you there while updates are available. But
if you're Scottie's playing partner, what's the first thing you say to him today?
How was your morning?
Did you get some coffee? They have a really nice concession stand set up.
So check this out.
If there's a line, just go around it to the left.
Yeah. Don't stop for anybody.
No.
There is some international rugby coming to San Diego. It's the most famous rugby side in the world, the All Blacks. They're coming to town. They're going to be facing the Flying Fijians. This is on July 19th. Get ready to experience speed, intensity, and skill of the 2 best rugby sides in the world facing off against one another right here in front of a home crowd in San Diego at Snapdragon Stadium. Final tickets on sale now, but they are moving, folks. So secure your spot at Ticketmaster.com. That's the All Blacks versus the Flying Fijians, July 19th at Snapdragon Stadium. More next.
We got bonus bucks for you, $1,000. A chance to win $1,000. Just grab the keyword, then take the keyword to sportssd.com and enter it there. Your next shot at that $1,000 for bonus bucks with the keyword is 9 o'clock.
This update presented by Anderson Plumbing, Heating, and Air. Padres open up a 4-game series with the Braves tonight in Atlanta. 4:21 pitch. Matt Waldron going to be on the mound for the Padres. And in golf, the second round of the PGA Championship has been delayed due to a fatal car accident involving a pedestrian just outside the entrance to Valhalla Golf Club. Branching off that story, though, the number one golfer in the world, Scottie Scheffler, arrived a little bit later in the morning and ended up getting arrested after an altercation with police officers. Scheffler has been released. He's back at the course getting ready for his round, which is set to tee off in about 40 minutes from now. Brought to you by the Golf Mart, home of the 90-day guarantee. NBA playoffs, Timberwolves blow out the Nuggets in a terrible basketball game last night, forcing a Game 7 in Denver on Sunday. Chilly showers no longer. Say goodbye to icy plunges and hello to heat with AndersonPHA.com. Upgrade your water heater and get a free water pressure regulator valued at $1,300. That's AndersonPHA.com.
Hey! Cha-cha-cha! It's a Bar Cart Friday here. Big Receipt and Fletch, San Diego Sports 760.
Meow.
Brought to you by Keg and Bottle. 10 locations all throughout San Diego County. Tony Condra going to be in here a little bit later. Woodinville Whiskey Company. August James O'Mahony.
We'll find out.
O'Mahony. He's the national brand ambassador at Woodinville Whiskey. Going to be joining us from Washington as we make up some maple old fashions. Going to be fantastic. Also coming up in less than an hour, 45 minutes. Desi Banks, comedian, going to be in studio. I can't wait for that.
That's going to be cool. That dude's hilarious. He has like 8.8 million Instagram followers. Dude. If you want to go over and check him out. But he did a video recently making fun of food reviewers.
Yes.
And we all watched it together and I was dying.
Because it's spot on.
Yeah, and he was like sloppy like that, but he was making fun of him. But it's actually a video you've seen 100 times because people are idiots.
Right, exactly. Yeah, so can't wait for him to be here. He's going to be out at American Comedy Company tonight, tomorrow night, Sunday as well. So tonight, tomorrow night, 7:30, 9:30 shows. Sunday is a 7 p.m. show. I believe there's still tickets available for all shows. I think it's getting close. $35, AmericanComedyCo.com. And speaking of tickets, you can win a pair of tickets to go see San Diego Strike Force coming up this Sunday, Pechanga Arena, as they take on the Duke City Gladiators on Breast Cancer Awareness Night. Go to sdstrikeforce.com for tickets and info, or just keep listening here for your chance to win them.
You ever want to punch your dog in the face?
No.
Okay, cool. Me neither.
What? He wanted to punch your dog right in the face?
Last night, he was being a little S-word, if you know what I mean.
No, I get it.
Dogs, kept me up till 11 o'clock, and I'm 99% sure Kendall was pretending to be asleep so she didn't have to do anything.
Wait, whoa. You were up until 11 o'clock?
Yeah. Bedtime's like 8, dude.
I'm up till 11 o'clock almost every day.
I don't know how you guys do that, by the way. That's wild.
You sleep when you're dead, Fletch.
That's right.
That's what you do.
Did you guys see the Indiana Fever game last night?
I saw some highlights.
I did not see the game. I just looked at, a couple of stories because of a couple of headlines.
Well, see, that's the thing. The reason why I asked it that way, the reason why I phrased the question, did you see the Fever game, is because I'm really curious if anybody's watching the WNBA. This is what we were told would happen when Caitlin Clark was drafted first overall by the Indiana Fever, that she was going to change the face of basketball, that she was going to draw more eyes to the sport than we've ever seen before, that she is the sort of transcendent talent who is going to change the sport forever and start giving it the sort of viewership and ratings that it deserves. Caitlin Clark went out against the New York Liberty last night, and it was a huge crowd for a NBA or a WNBA game. It was a sold-out crowd of over 17,000 people.
Yeah, the pictures that it's full.
And she scored 9 points.
They got the asses kicked too.
She scored 2 in the first half.
Yeah. So she's had 2 now super slow starts to both of her first games. She's heated up a little bit in the second half in both the games. She had 20 points in her season opener against the Connecticut Sun. Against the New York Liberty, she scores 9 points. Here's the tricky part. The WNBA is way harder than college basketball. Pro sports are way more difficult than amateur sports, because when you're dealing with professionals, they don't have anything else to worry about except for being as good at the skill and the craft as they possibly can be. So the level of talent is much higher. Also, in college basketball, she's a tall, strong, big athlete. Do you want to hear the median height or the average height of a college women's basketball player?
I'd guess 5'8".
5'6".
Wow, it is
5'6". Division I college basketball players, the average height is 5'6". She's 6 feet tall. So not only was she an incredible shooter in college, but she was also one of the tallest athletes on the floor in any game she played. So when you look at the statistics, her measurables, her skill set, of course she's going to dominate college basketball. She goes to the pros, and now you have the best of the best on the court every single night playing and competing against you. You're not going against an average height of 5'6". You're going against a much taller, faster, stronger veteran athlete. So the game gets more difficult. The game doesn't apply as well to the pro level. So this, ready, set, let's pour out this instant star, the Steph Curry, as she was deemed, of of college basketball, making the transition to the pros, it's a lot harder. Now, this doesn't mean that she can't be a star one day. Kobe Bryant was awful for his first 2 years as a professional basketball player, and he became one of the best basketball players to ever play in the NBA.
Well, use the Steph Curry analogy. When he was in college at Davidson, he captured the hearts of the entire country a lot like Caitlin Clark did, and Davidson made it to a Sweet 16, maybe even an Elite 8 with him doing Steph Curry stuff, and then he got to the pros and really struggled for the first 6 or 7 years because of ankle injuries, because of the height factor, because of a little bit of everything that went into it. And then he became the 2-time regular season MVP. Did he win MVP in one of the finals? I think he did in the last one. And so that's who Steph Curry became. Maybe the same thing happens with Caitlin Clark. What you would worry about if you are the WNBA is that if she has a slow start, does any momentum she gained from the college basketball world, trying to translate that into the WNBA in terms of viewership, in terms of the making the league bigger, does that go away if she struggles when she starts going in?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that's part of the problem here. And I believe Caitlin Clark will be fine. I mean, she's a fantastic athlete. She's obviously great at the game. I think that you're right, Rich, as well. I mean, you got to figure it out here at the pro level and figure out how to step up your game to play at the pro level. So you got to let that happen. You got to let time take its course here and let Caitlin Clark figure it out. However, in that time period, you are absolutely right, Fletch. Things start to cool off. Now, Caitlin Clark has a huge fan base. She has a huge following. They obviously love her out in Indiana. Fantastic. Keep going out there. Keep buying tickets. Keep cheering her on. But I do believe things will cool off around the country. They already have.
Yeah. Look, and here's the deal. The comparison to Steph Curry, it's not all that apt because he was second in Rookie of the Year voting his rookie year. He was always an incredible three-point shooter in the league. It took time for the league to catch up to him, to spotlight and highlight his specific skill set, but he was good his rookie year. Now, I'm not saying she's going to be bad. I mean, he was like, I don't know, like a 20 point per game shooter his first couple of seasons, and then he exploded later in his career. But the talent at the 3-point line transitioned to the NBA. That's the problem so far for Caitlin Clark. What made her special in college basketball has not translated to women's professional basketball yet. It doesn't mean that it won't, but that point that you just made, TD, is the most important point, is the steam is going to wear off. The shine is going to wear off before you have an opportunity for this really to take off. I mean, she is a great ambassador for the sport. I think she's handled a lot of the fame and the praise well as she's made this ascent. But this, I'm not saying we were sold anything. I'm not saying anybody was lying to anybody. I think there was genuine excitement and interest around Caitlin Clark. There was huge amounts of interest during the women's college basketball Final Four, a national championship game. We remarked on it, and it was remarkable. Yeah. You had over 10 million people and almost 20 million for the championship game tuning in to see Caitlin Clark.
Well, as the not WNBA, but the NCAA women's basketball tournament was taking place, the playoffs were taking place, I knew the days when Caitlin Clark was playing. I did not know Caitlin Clark was playing last night. So if that's an indication of what is being put out in the media, there's already a cooling off period. Which, I mean, it may change. It may change.
She'll probably still win Rookie of the Year and maybe other accolades just because of the name.
Well, I mean,
like, she's going to have to play well, but I do agree with you. Like, MVP, all-star voting, all those things, as we know, and this is as
popularity
true,
contest.
It's about, this is as true in men's sports it is in women's sports. It is a little bit more political than just how good of a player you are. So she is the hottest name in the WNBA. So if she even has a reasonably good season and it's comparable to other rookie stars, she's going to win accolades.
Right. We'll get back to this later in the show, but Scottie Scheffler's smiling way too much this morning as he made his way out to the range, and now he's on the range getting ready for his round. He's been laughing and giggling, like he's not taking this seriously at all.
Yeah, what would you do?
Probably the same thing.
Would you be angry? I mean, he's the one who screwed this up ultimately, but I mean, I'm sure he's trying to just get in the right mindset as well.
This is such a unique set of circumstances. I cannot wait to see how he actually performs today.
Yeah, it's actually going to be very interesting.
I hope he breaks the course record.
How we performed months ago here as we signed up for SDFatLoss.com. It was incredible. We also had to get in the right mindset, which you do when you start any kind of weight loss program. You got to get in the right mindset. Wayne and Chloe over at SDFatLoss.com, they'll get you in the right mindset. They'll set you up. It's a free consultation if you go to SDFatLoss.com right now and set up that consultation with Wayne and Chloe. But they'll walk you through what it's going to look like, what it's going to take, what it's going to be. And they're going to say, hey, look, you're going to lose 20 to 30 pounds in 8 weeks' time. And you're going to go, whoa, my God, 20 to 30 pounds. I'm going to look so hot. Will there ever be a cooling off period? And they'll say, no, because you're going to keep that weight off. That's what you're going to do. That's the secret. That's the magic to SDFatLoss.com, because you can do a fat diet. You can take some prescription medication diet. You can lose some weight. But I guarantee you this, as soon as you stop the fat diet, as soon as you stop that medication diet, it's just an appetite suppressant. You're going to start eating again. You're going to gain the weight right back. Not at SDFatLoss.com. It's the healthy way. It's the right way. No cooling off period. Fletch broke his ankle stepping on an acorn just several weeks ago, and I do believe, thanks in part to SDFatLoss.com for shedding nearly 50 pounds with SDFatLoss.com. He's walking around the control room right now.
Look at him.
What did my leg have to do with any of that? What did the acorn have to do with any of that?
Drop the weight. If you had 50 more pounds, that leg probably would have fallen off.
I mean, people might think that you dropped the 50 pounds right on your leg.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean,
but he it in half.
But he didn't. He did it over time, the natural way.
That's correct. And if you mention the show, if you go to SDFatLoss.com right now, mention Big Rich TD and Fletch, you'll save $200. So do yourself a favor. You're going to feel better. You're going to look better. All the things better. I promise you that. SDFatLoss.com.
Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. It is a Friday. We're actually in the middle of setting up for a Bar Car Friday, brought to you by Keg and Bottle, 10 locations around San Diego. Breaking news out of Valhalla Golf Club, the site of the PGA Championship. If you're just waking up, Scottie Scheffler, the world's #1 golfer, was arrested this morning. He was processed and released as well. He's being charged with third-degree mischief, reckless driving, disregarding officer directing traffic. So
I would say he's starting things off in the rough.
You had another really bad one on the rundown that's been taken over by the Scottie Scheffler story.
What?
Where you're talking about all the Scotties on the course because you had an eagle yesterday, and that was your name for the little eaglets.
Oh, yeah.
Scottie Pippins?
Just laps.
Little Scottie Pippins?
Little Scottie Pippins running around.
Eaglets never came to be, by the way. It's very sad.
So funny. He was on a rundown this morning. Like, we were going to talk about Scottie Scheffler anyways.
Well, because he had a good day yesterday, and he had that eagle literally on shot number 2. He sings an eagle, and it was insane. But now that story has just been put away because, well, he got arrested.
Yeah, he got arrested. So for anybody who missed the story,
breaking news.
Yeah, breaking news. He was trying to get to the golf course. There was traffic.
Will Eric Hosmer be an all-star this season?
He was driving on the median. An officer told him to stop. He didn't. He got dragged out of his car after proceeding forward while dragging an officer for a few steps. And so he was cuffed and booked and then got brought back to the golf course, like all within like a 3-hour span.
He's teeing off in 15 minutes.
I feel like we should get the voiceover guy to do, will Scottie Scheffler get arrested this season? Yeah.
And how about the capital J journalism from one Jeff Darlington, who just happened to be like 3 or 4 cars behind Scottie Scheffler when all this was going down. So he was able to video the whole thing, get an article up like 5 minutes later. It's a fun time to be a golf fan.
I mean, I guess if fun is the word you're looking for here, a very tragic event that led up to Scottie Scheffler being arrested, by the way, a employee out there at the golf course, or at least
not fun.
Yeah, got hit by a shuttle bus and was killed. And that's why there was a backup. That's why everybody was running late. Scottie Scheffler went around that backup, had a police officer grab onto his car where he drug him at least part of a few feet. Then finally Scottie stops, roll down the window, and they throw handcuffs on him.
So this is a statement from Scottie Scheffler to Jeff Darlington. Jeff Darlington, of course, remained at the golf club while Scottie Scheffler was being detained and processed. And then when he came back to the golf course, met up with Jeff and said this morning I was proceeding as directed by police officers. It was very chaotic, talking about the situation, understandably so, considering the tragic accident that had occurred earlier. And there was a big misunderstanding of what I thought I was being asked to do. I never intended to disregard any of the instructions. I'm hopeful to put this aside and focus on my golf today. Of course, all of us involved in the tournament express our deepest sympathies to the family of the man who passed away in the earlier accident this morning. It truly puts everything in perspective.
So Scottie's PR guy picked him up from jail.
Well, of course.
That was the statement.
But I mean, and by the way, it is not only possible, but it's likely that Scottie rolled down his window, waved somebody over who was directing traffic and said, "Hey, listen, I'm not aware of what's going on up there, but is there any way I can go? I'm a golfer. I have a tee time at X, Y, or Z time." And maybe there was an initial officer who said, "Yeah, come on, just tell them as you roll out."
It's happened to me before.
Yeah,
where one officer has said, "Hey, go down this road." Then I get pulled over as I go down that road because. Yeah. Well, it's a one-way road. I'm going the wrong way.
Right.
But you know, it's fine.
Yeah. And so they don't have radios that are connected to each other, or somebody misses a hand signal or whatever,
right.
Or somebody is dealing with the obvious tragedy that just occurred, a fatality in the middle of the road, and has their back to the whole situation, and then realizes there's a car coming down Main Street. It's like,
yeah.
So I mean, it is very possible that the truth is landing somewhere in between. But here's my thought process: is if he does end up having to do like prison time? Is this going to be like the movie Get Hard with Will Ferrell and Kevin Hart, where Kevin Hart's training Will Ferrell how to act?
Scheffler has cornrows.
Yeah, like you remember he was like doing bench press with Kevin Hart in the middle, like in the middle of a baseball diamond, and Kevin Hart kept smacking him and trying to take his lunch.
Thinking we could get a new longest yard, except it's the longest drive. Like maybe there's some greedy warden out there in Louisville who's trying to start a golf team out of jail. And these Scottie Scheffler, he could be is it Paul Cruz?
I like where all of this is heading.
Yeah.
I like where all
Adam
of this
Sandler's character. Is it Paul Cruz?
I forget the name. I don't know any of the names. I know Burt Reynolds was in the first one and the second one. I know that Adam Sandler.
Paul Cruz.
Yeah. Well,
I believe you.
We need to know.
Yeah.
So let's stop the show here. Padres, they have a 4-game series against Atlanta coming up over the weekend. Then they head on the road to Cincinnati or stay on the road to
At least
Cincinnati.
Atlanta's not like doing well, right?
Don't worry, guys. There's no S. It's Paul Crew.
Oh, thank goodness. Thank goodness.
Yeah, Atlanta's won 6 of their last 8.
Yeah, it's fine. They're like 26 wins on the season.
Padres are not that good, but that's okay. That's okay because you know what? Against good competition, the Padres typically play up. So you saw what they did to the Dodgers.
And on the road, the Padres are fantastic.
That you've seen what they've done on the road. So we are pumped.
At what point in the season do the other teams catch up with the Padres on number of games? Padres and Dodgers have played more games, and
they never catch up.
The Padres do 164.
I'm guessing at the All-Star break, they'll probably break a little bit earlier, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm guessing, or maybe they'll have like a stretch somewhere, almost like a bye week or a couple mini buys. But either way, yeah, the Padres and the Dodgers got the early start, split that series. The Padres won the series up in LA. The Padres won the series in San Diego. They've beaten good teams.
Yeah. And when last time they went into a skid, they started winning.
That's right.
So they're pre-streaking right now.
You're damn right. Just because they have a 0-win streak going right now doesn't mean by the time we turn on our televisions on Monday, 3-4 wins. I mean, it's possible. It's possible. Right. So we'll get to the Padres in just a moment here. Also, we have Desi Banks. He's going to be playing American Comedy Company tonight and tomorrow and Sunday. He's got a show. Tickets available at AmericanComedyCo.com. He joins us next hour as well. It's Big Rich, TD, and Fletch on a Bar Car Friday.
This update presented by Anderson Plumbing, Heating, and Air. It's hour 2 on Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. Padres opening up a 4-game series with the Braves tonight in Atlanta. 4:21 pitch. Matt Waldron on the mound for the Pods. In golf, the second round of the PGA Championship finally underway now after it was delayed a couple hours due to a fatal car accident involving a pedestrian just outside the entrance to Valhalla Golf Club. And then branching off that story, the number one golfer in the world, Scottie Scheffler, actually arrested a little bit later in the morning when he was in an altercation with police officers. Scheffler has been released. He is back at the course due to tee off any minute now. Brought to you by the Golf Mart, home of the 90-day guarantee. NBA playoffs, Timberwolves blow out the Nuggets last night in Game 6. They face a Game 7 in Denver on Sunday. Chilly showers no longer. Say goodbye to icy plunges and hello to heat with the AndersonPHA.com. Upgrade your water heater and get a free water pressure regulator valued at $1,300. That's AndersonPHA.com.
Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. Welcome to a Bar Car Friday. Happy Friday to those who celebrate. I'm curious how Scottie Scheffler is going to celebrate the rest of this Friday. So he had a rough start to his morning. If you're just catching up with the PGA Championship, which is out in Kentucky, Valhalla Golf Club, which was the site of an unfortunate scene. An employee was struck by a shuttle bus and killed. And so traffic obviously stopped. This was sometime in the 5 o'clock hour, early morning in Louisville, Kentucky. Well, so traffic being stopped, that means that golfers, media members, fans who wanted to get an early look at the driving range, other workers were obviously the majority of the people who were stuck in this traffic behind this tragic scene. Now, Scottie Scheffler obviously probably didn't know what was going on, but he took it upon himself to drive on the median, which in a later statement, he said that he was instructed to do so by a police officer. And then when he was told to stop by other police officers, he didn't, ended up dragging a police officer for a few steps before being removed from his vehicle.
Just so we're clear, though, that's not allowed?
No.
Oh. Weird.
He was arrested, detained, processed, charged with a felony and a couple misdemeanors, and now he's about to tee off at the PGA Championship.
We'll actually play you his tee off live when it happens, but if you're looking for more PGA Championship coverage, tomorrow and Sunday, right here on San Diego Sports 760, beginning at 11 o'clock, we will carry full coverage of the tournament out there at Valhalla, and then tonight at 7 o'clock, if you want to tune in, the full official recap from the PGA Tour will be aired right here on 760 as well. But yeah, Scottie Scheffler, looks like everything's back to normal. He's signing his the scorecard before they get going. Yeah. The memes have been hysterical. Is that what you got right now?
Yeah, I just put out the tweet that I've been wanting to put out for an hour now. It's Scottie Scheffler, it's Will Ferrell benching Kevin Hart. I said, this is Scottie Scheffler after his round today. # get hard. So, yeah, he's going to need to hire a prison training coach.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Because, did you already mention the 1 felony count, 2 misdemeanors? I missed it if you did.
Richie did. But if you're looking this morning, you're just waking up, you're like, what the hell are they talking about? Scottie Scheffler was arrested. There's a mugshot of him in an orange jumpsuit. Oh, yeah. Like, it was the full 9 yards, man. And now he's back on the course, literally about to tee off.
He's had 3 outfit changes already this morning.
Yeah.
So his arrival gear, he went into an orange jumpsuit.
Like, imagine being his family. Like, if his family's out here, I don't know where they live, but imagine they're just waking up, turning on the TV, be like, oh, Scottie's about to tee off. Let's turn on and watch. And then the announcer's talking. So Scottie Scheffler, off of his first arrest, is now on the course.
Yeah, you could tell as he was walking out there to that tee box. He had some smiles. He did a little quick wave, but there looked like there was some trepidation there. Oh, how he was going to be received as he walked out on the course. I don't know. I didn't hear any sound here, but it didn't look like anybody was booing.
You know that and I don't know how often this has happened in your guys' life, but when something really embarrassing happens to you and it feels like a lot of people know about it, there's that advice. Look, the majority of people don't know what you're going through, so don't sweat it. Like, just move on with your day, move on with your life. And eventually, even those who do know what's going on, they're going to forget about it. They're going to move on too. So you're just really obsessing about it because it's happening to you. In this case, That's not it. Everybody's looking at you, Scottie.
Everyone knows.
Everybody's talking. Everybody knows. Literally everybody who is on the tee box or near the tee box or watching at home knows that you've been arrested. So this is one of those rare moments in the life of a human being where anybody who's paying attention to what you're doing right now knows exactly what's going on and exactly what you're thinking. And that is a weird fishbowl to be in.
Well, we can dig way too far into this, but the Masters this year, Scottie Scheffler was also in the news constantly, not for golf, because it was the whole story of whether he was going to leave the Masters or not if his wife went into labor. And everyone was talking about that. And he went out and performed excellent, won the Masters. How can he do that today?
His wife needs to put the baby back inside.
Oh my God.
That's the only way.
I don't think
that's not
anatomically possible.
Just saying, like, then it's like the nervousness, and then he's thinking about that instead of being arrested.
I know, but listen, I'm not a doctor. I'm certainly not an obstetrician, but I think once they're out, they're just kind of out.
I feel like we have the technology now.
Okay.
We could do
all right. Well,
make it happen.
We have a couple phone calls to make. Maybe we could get an OBGYN on the show today.
Did you have any of these, Rich, where you're dealing with something off the field and then you have a game? And you're like, oh, well, time to go play in front of 60,000 people.
Never something this public. But yeah, over the course of my career, there had been moments where, for one reason or another, something was going on in my life where I was like, oh my gosh, and obsessing over it. Anybody who's ever, had trouble, been in trouble, worried about something knows that feeling of, I got to compartmentalize because something else that's equally important, or at very least, I am obliged to participate in, is happening right now. So I just need to take whatever's happening in my own life, put it on a shelf for a second, and go out and perform. So the second of I think it's a trio on the tee box right now. Harmon is teeing off on the back
lefty.
nine
He's
here.
a lefty, and I like it.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. Lefty golfers just look wrong.
Why does that look wrong? That's the only way it looks right to me.
And I'll tell you right now, both of the golfers in front of Scottie Scheffler striped the fairway.
That's right. That's right.
It couldn't be any worse for Scottie right now. Like, literally, you were hoping for one of the other two to shank it into the crowd. So now here we go live to the PGA Championship. Here's Scottie Scheffler's.
We have to talk quiet now.
And if you clap, you have to just use two fingers.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. Scottie, the TV on the right here is ahead. Scottie now up at the tee.
What if he shanks it?
Think he'll be okay?
Wow.
And
it's going right.
Bunker.
It's pulling right. It's pulling right. It's pulling right.
Okay.
Talk about your rough start, TD. He's in the rough.
Oh, I love it.
Wow.
There was a dude who's working the course wearing a clear poncho. He's got the PGA badge on. He is so proud because he did the whole, hey, look, Mom, I'm on TV, holding his fists up.
The ball's right here, guys, right here.
Oh, my gosh.
Well, I mean, not the greatest start.
It's wet out there, guys. We failed to mention with all this. It's raining in Valhalla.
That's true. That's true. I don't know. What does that make you feel like? First shot here of the day for him. I feel like
this
it's
is
shaky.
The most interesting golf story since Tiger won the Masters in 2019.
This could be the start of his. This could be a 100-shot round here, guys.
It's possible.
I hope so.
It is possible.
Watching professional golfers completely fall apart and look like the rest of us is one of my favorite things to watch happen.
I either want it to be amazing or awful, no in between.
I'm the opposite. I love when people are faced with incredible odds and they perform even better. Like, it would be amazing if Scottie Scheffler, to me, it would be a much better story if he goes out and cards a 59 today. Like, if he goes
breaks
out there
the course record
and absolutely shreds this course to pieces, where people's faces are melting by the end of the day, where they're like, okay, he started off the day as the biggest heel in golf, and he's now a hero to everybody for the way he was able to compartmentalize and perform on such an important day in his career. Because look, all these majors, especially when you're on a heater like Scottie Scheffler, you don't know how long you're going to be on this streak for. They're important. So if he can rack off another major win, another major victory here in Valhalla, That would be an incredible feather in his cap, especially with the way his Friday round started.
Does this story affect the rest of the field at all? Is anybody else thinking about this? Just wondering what's
everyone
happening?
got delayed. But they weren't delayed because of Scottie Scheffler.
No,
they were delayed because of the accident that led to the arrest of Scottie Scheffler. So, like, everyone being delayed, I think throws you off a little bit. Golfers are super regimented and have their schedules that they have to do before they hit the first tee, whether it's 75 sand wedge shots, 75 pitching wedge shots, and all of them are like that. And they're all super serious about it.
Well, you know what Scheffler should do is add getting arrested to his morning routine.
Well, if he comes out and shoots a 59 today.
Can you imagine if every single time he's like, I need to commit assault, and I don't know who's getting punched, but somebody's getting punched on my way in today.
That's right.
So yeah, if you missed it, Scottie Scheffler arrested to start his Friday morning at the PGA Championship because he was driving through an active crime scene after somebody was struck and killed by a shuttle bus.
Yeah.
And police arrested him and brought him in, processed him, charged him, and now he's on the course. He's on the opening hole of his round on the back nine at the PGA Championship. All right, for my monologue, I'm going to stick with what I plan to talk about before the show. It's Padres related. It's not golf related. We'll give you any updates as they occur over at the PGA Championship, but the Padres, actually, interestingly, this is a related story kind of to what we're seeing right now with Scottie Scheffler. Distractions are helpful sometimes. Sometimes it's good to break the norms. Sometimes it's good to break the routines. You know, in fact, in baseball especially, that's a sport where when somebody's slumping, they'll go to great lengths to break up their normal routine. I've talked about this before, but one of the best stories out of baseball lore was the golden thong that Derek Jeter borrowed from a teammate because his teammate said, yeah, when I'm slumping, I wear this golden thong and everything turns around for me because I'm not thinking about the game. I'm thinking about having this golden thong jammed up my ass. So so that was his path, right? That's the way Derek Jeter broke his routine. And it was funny and it's a great anecdote. Here's the deal. Like, the Padres need to do the same thing. And maybe just going on the road is that break of routine. Maybe going to Atlanta for a 4-game series, heading on the road to Cincinnati after that helps them break up the monotony of the day in, day out life of being a baseball player or a baseball team. I don't know, but this team, they hit the skids against the Rockies after a really emotionally high weekend against the Dodgers. A lot of the players seemed pissed about the fact that the fans were booing them early in the game on
what is happening
on Tuesday on Wednesday rather, as Travis Dale almost took out our entire console here. But yeah, I don't know about you, Fletch, but I kind of feel like the Padres, they needed the road. Like, this team needs the road in the worst way.
They need the road. They need to go find some nightclub in Atlanta, hopefully last night, and have a party. And party with all the boys and get everyone's mind off of baseball for a night. That's what days off are for. And I don't know, to your story, when I was in Little League, and it may have been around the time the Derek Jeter thing was happening, but we were bad, and it's Little League, so this doesn't really matter. But my brother, who was like assistant coaching with my dad at the time, told us all to flip our bats upside down in the dugout because we couldn't get a hit. The next inning, with the bats turned upside down before we would go out and nobody could touch the bats or anything, the next inning we hit around. Like, the entire lineup came up and everyone got hits. And it was literally just a little mental trick you play on third graders, but you could play a little mental trick on 30-year-olds who are making millions of dollars, and maybe something can work. I agree with you. They need to get their minds off. Hey, quickly for my morning monologue, Mama Fletcher's birthday is coming up this weekend.
All right, happy birthday, Angela Fletcher.
The greatest lady in the entire world. None of the three of us would be here without Mama Fletch. I promise you that. But she is a superstar. She's out in Detroit right now with her grandbabies, which is all she wants to do. And I'm glad she's there. I'm glad you're having a nice time, Mom. We all love you. Happy birthday. Keep kicking ass.
Yeah, here. Happy birthday to Mama Fletcher. Safe travels also. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing, birthdays, and they're even better when you get to celebrate in person with people. I heard somebody, and look, I'm going to butcher it, but they were like, yeah, birthdays are important to celebrate because without those, none of us are here. I'm like, that's a really good point. It's not very deep, but it is a good point. Joining us in studio coming up in just a minute. Actually, Do we want to start this right now?
Yeah, we start this right now.
Okay, let's do it. We got Desi Banks. We got Desi Banks, comedian of Instagram fame, dude. We were watching. We spent all day yesterday laughing at your videos. They're hysterical.
That's great.
Going to be at American Comedy Company tonight.
Yes.
Tomorrow night. Also, you got a Sunday show before you head out of town.
Yes.
Where are you from? Where'd you grow up?
Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, born and raised.
All right.
East side of Atlanta, Georgia, man.
Yeah. Where do you live now?
Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh, you say you grew up in state.
Yeah, it's growing, man. So I feel like it's, I'm back and forth to the West Coast, to Atlanta, to New York, for work. But Atlanta, I feel like it's growing. It's becoming a place where, a lot of work is being done. So I feel like as of now, I shouldn't have to leave.
You're a Braves fan? Padres out there.
Of course, yes.
Oh, come on.
Of course. It's tatted on.
Well, there you go. Yeah, the Braves are all over TV. When we were little kids, when our dads were our age, because they were great when there were only a couple of stations really playing sports, and like the Atlanta Braves. There are Atlanta Braves fans everywhere,
for sure.
I didn't realize this until I started covering baseball. We started talking sports, but there are literally Atlanta Braves fans in New York. They're out here in Southern California. They're everywhere. Texas.
Most definitely. The Braves is dope, man. We just won one, 2 years ago. So hopefully we can get another one soon. But I love for us to continue to go to the playoffs. It's always get us hyped. But yeah, the Braves are dope, man.
You were out at the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Yeah. Saw you in the stands there. Did you get to catch a glimpse of Taylor Swift? It's a big question.
On camera, not like
come on.
Not in, like,
come on, you
close.
didn't drop a name.
I didn't. I wish I could have got close to her. I would have for sure asked for a picture like everybody else, but no, I didn't get close to her, man.
You tag her in it for the likes,
for sure,
for the gram,
of course,
for the
gotta
gram.
get that.
Yeah. Dude, you're huge on social media.
Yeah,
I mean, we're pushing 9 million people following you on social media. How'd you get started in comedy?
Well, I started on social media back in 2012 on Vine. So I come from that area of comedy when it comes to social media, man. I feel like that's the first start of a lot of people who's doing videos right now. That's like the OG status of social media comedy. But yeah, I started there, man. So I'm 10, 12 years plus in it, and it's been growing for me. I'm on year 8 of stand-up right now. So, the transition been, dope, man, because a lot of people don't transition from social media to do the stand-up, to be able to sell tickets and, stuff like that. So, no, it's been a great journey and a process for me. A lot of stuff been elevating, been meeting a lot of different people, from Kevin Hart to Mike Epps to Gary Owens to a lot of Martin Lawrence. I got shows of him coming up. I've been on tour with Mike Epps. A lot of dope comedians, man. So I'm just very thankful I'm in that field with those guys now.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Martin Lawrence was like a hero of mine growing up.
For sure.
The show Martin, I mean,
it's legendary.
The characters he played. I mean, he's crazy. Yeah. You so crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, he really was so crazy.
Sure,
he was so crazy.
No,
he was
so
crazy. It was the catchphrase. I love that show so much. Yeah. So social media, making that jump to comedy, or being a comic, being on stage, touring like you're doing, like, was it difficult to get the respect of comedians who didn't start out in social? Like, because I imagine that's probably
it really was. Because for me, I feel like it was like not like they were bullying you, but it's like a respect thing.
Yeah.
If you feel like you're a comedian, for me, I feel like you should at least try to to do stand up or whatever it is. But I feel like that's the longevity too.
Yeah.
That's how you get those other opportunities. That's how you get into those rooms. That's how you get opportunities to be in movies, TV shows, because that's how they started.
Yeah.
That's still the original right way, because I'm sure down the line, they're going to want to see us doing specials. They're going to want to see, we are the new generation. They want to see that to continue, We just can't be on social media and you'll never see stand up again. That'd be crazy.
Oh, that'd be terrible.
No.
Yeah, that'd be terrible.
Like,
dude, have you played this room before, American Comedy Company?
Yeah, I have. I did it like 2 years ago.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's dope room.
Place. Yeah, it's really good.
Really
the low ceilings, like the way you're in that corner,
make you feel like you're in New York a little bit.
Right. The lights hanging down,
like the cellar.
I love it.
Like the basement. I love. We've been there a bunch of times. It's an awesome place. Rebecca over there, obviously, they run a great club. Can you stick around for a little bit?
Yeah, I know he's got to go. He's got to go to the next one. So we'll keep him here for a couple minutes if that's cool with you. Yeah, he's got a you got a full slate, man. Desi, you're busy, man.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
You know who you remind me of actually when you're out on stage. The level you have is Chris Tucker.
Oh, I love Chris.
Oh my God, like the way you connect with the audience, dude, it's great, man.
Nah, Chris is one of my inspirations for sure.
Who was funny in your family? Because I feel like every time we talk to somebody, like there's an influence, an uncle, a dad, a mom, an aunt.
Sure. My Uncle Earl and my grandmother are like the craziest. They're insane. It's ridiculous.
What were family dinners like? What was it like? No holds barred. Anybody could say anything they wanted.
The worst was when they play cards. It gets serious.
What's the card game?
Spades.
She's always spades.
I done seen family members break up. I'm not talking to you ever again. I'm talking about go 6 months without talking to you. Yeah. Then you're gonna call later. Hey, we playing spades again. If you want to come through, it's crazy.
I remember the back of the plane, like when I was, I played in the NFL for a couple of years. In the back of the plane, it was spades. It was what's the game? It's euchre.
Oh, yeah.
Euchre and dominoes.
Dominoes.
Constantly. And I would get involved in some of these games. I'd be like, all right, so what do we, what's the buy-in here? And sometimes these games are like thousands of dollars. I'm like, I'm going to go back to my room. I'm just going to go right back to my room. Did your family ever gamble? Was it
for sure
money on on the spades game?
That's when the breakups come. People can't pay their rent now. And they not giving it back. It's like, yep. It's on you. Yeah, should never play me. I gotta pay my rent too.
Uncle Earl is homeless now, and the reason is because Grandma took him for everything he got.
For sure, and don't care.
Yeah, they're ruthless. Yeah, they don't give it back.
They don't care.
What?
Yeah, awesome. You get it back. Go work.
That is absolutely awesome. So where else have you been recently? What cities? I mean, is it like every day you're waking up in a hotel recently?
Well, no, I get to go home like during the week.
Oh, that's good. Yeah,
sometimes so I'll be home like 3-4 days.
Is that tough? Like to have a schedule where you are traveling so much for work, where you kind of you don't have firm footing where you live and stuff like that.
Well, for me, I just feel like I'm living in my purpose. So it's like I'm doing work.
That's awesome.
Not work, but of course it's work. But
it's what you want to do.
It's what I want to do.
Yeah.
It's like being an athlete.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or NBA player. They on the road every day.
Dude, it's training. You got to train for it. Yeah.
But yeah, you got to train for it for sure. So I work out. I make sure I'm eating right, doing stuff like that. So keep me going.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
What are your favorite bits to do for the gram?
For the gram?
Yeah.
Oh man, I got so many.
I know. Yeah. We were watching them yesterday, dude, just rolling through them.
The one where you're making fun of food influencers.
Oh my God.
Where you're eating the chicken wings and the chicken sandwich, you're dumping all the ranch. You have ranch literally dripping onto your t-shirt. I'm gonna get it.
And it's crazy. I'm so jealous of those people.
Oh my God.
I wish I could do that like every day. If I could do that oh my God. Like because I just look at their page like, damn you, man. Like it looks so fun. You know what I'm saying? So
Desi Banks, you the man. Going to be at an American Comedy Company tonight, tomorrow, Sunday as well. 7:30 and 9:30 tonight, 7 p.m. on Sunday. You want tickets? You can get them right now at AmericanComedyCode.com. They're just $35. Don't miss it. Great place.
And I know you got it. We're in San Diego. You got money out here.
Oh yeah. Listen,
we are rolling it.
You guys get out and see this guy. Seriously funny. What's Instagram, by the way? Give it a shot.
I am Desi Banks. I am DESIBANKS.
Dude, you got to follow him on Instagram too. Seriously funny, dude. Really great meeting you.
Yes, sir, man. I appreciate
we will continue following your journey. Appreciate you jumping on the show.
Thank y'all for having me.
All right, coming up next, more Big Rich, TD, and Fletch on a Bar Cart Friday.
Thank y'all, man.
Hey, it's Fletch for SDFatLoss.com. If you are looking in the mirror and not thrilled with what you're seeing, if you're thinking about the months you got coming up and understanding that you have commitments and you have stuff to do where you're going to be in front of a lot of people, like a wedding, a graduation, pool parties even, you got to get on over to SDFatLoss.com, because think about this. In 2 months' time, each of the three of us lost over 35 pounds, and we're idiots, and we can make it work. So I promise you, you can get it done as well. Get on over to SDFatLoss.com today, and you are going to get a roadmap for the next 2 months of your life from our friends Wayne and Chloe, and they're going to teach you how you're going to drop all this weight and how quickly it's really going to happen. And we were stunned, shocked, all of us, with how quickly the weight came off, and really just how a little bit of commitment on our parts led to such dramatic results. That could be the same thing for you. And right now, if you mention Big Rich, TD, and Fletch when you sign up with Wayne and Chloe, you're going to get $200 off your order. So get on over to SDFatLoss.com today. Start making that change in your life, and you're not going to get any prescription drugs, any crazy diet plans that you have to stick to. It's just going to be good, old-fashioned, natural way dieting with SDFatLoss.com, and you are going to be a skinny person once again.
Red Shoe Day happening May 22nd. That's next week, benefiting Ronald McDonald House Charities right here in San Diego. And all proceeds stay right here in San Diego, directly supporting our families. Funds raised during Red Shoe Day support lodging, meals, emotional support, and family day services provided by the house at zero cost to families and our iHeart team for Red Shoe Day. They're going to be out collecting donations right at the intersection of Balboa Ave and Ruffin Road. Look for them out there holding the red shoe. Happening Wednesday, May 22nd, 7 a.m. to 9:30 a.m.
This update presented by Anderson Plumbing, Heating, and Air. Padres open up a 4-game series with the Braves tonight in Atlanta. 4:20 first pitch. Matt Waldron on the mound for the Padres. And in golf, the second round of the PGA Championship has been delayed, or it was delayed due to a fatal car accident involving a pedestrian just outside the entrance to the Valhalla Golf Club. It is going now, and Scottie Scheffler, who's actually arrested a little bit later in the morning, he is on the course. And he's been released. He's playing. He's on the first hole right now of his day. This PGA Championship update brought to you by the Golf Mart, home of the 90-day guarantee. NBA playoffs, Timberwolves blow out the Nuggets last night in Game 6. That forces a Game 7 in Denver on Sunday. Chilly showers no longer. Say goodbye to icy plunges and hello to heat with AndersonPHA.com. Upgrade your water heater and get a free water pressure regulator valued at $1,300. That's AndersonPHA.com.
Big Rich Eating Fletch, San Diego Sports 760. Big thanks to Desi Banks who just stopped by. American Comedy Company tonight, tomorrow night. Go get tickets. AmericanComedyCo.com. What a dude, man. Great dude, funny dude. You don't want to miss it. We do have a pair of tickets, by the way. If you want to go see the San Diego Strike Force coming up this Sunday at Pechanga Arena, take on the Duke City Gladiators from Rio Rancho, New Mexico on Breast Cancer Awareness Night. Go to ststrikeforce.com for tickets and info. Big Rich, Cheaty, and Fletch celebrating a bar Cart Friday. Tony Conja from Keg and Bottle, 10 locations all throughout San Diego County. Going to be in here in just a few minutes, guys. It's a countdown to Woodinville Whiskey Company.
Woodinville Whiskey. I've actually had Woodinville before with my brother-in-law. Shout out to Chris out in Niantic, Connecticut.
Holy crap, there's actually a Chris Ornberger?
No.
That was our name for your clone.
No, he's got a different last name.
Oh, bummer.
He married my sister. Awesome dude. Big time bourbon fan. And
I'm so stupid.
What?
I was like, he married your sister and took your sister's last name.
and guess what, gang? We haven't started drinking yet.
We got a hole in one.
Wait,
Well,
what?
Sebastian Soderbergh.
Of course.
Oh,
All that
yeah.
guy does is drain them.
Look at this. Boy, he is a gigantic Swede. He is a tall
Lord,
drink of water.
Looks like size 22. Oh, my goodness.
That is gorgeous. And by the way, I mean, it's remarkable to hit a hole in one, but it is like pouring rain right now.
You're right.
in a major
Kentucky.
championship.
Yeah.
I've seen this on Caddyshack.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Somebody gets struck by lightning.
The judge.
Yeah.
Judge Smales. Of course.
And again, PGA Championship coverage right here on 760 all weekend long from 11 a.m. tomorrow and Sunday. We'll have live coverage of what's happening on the course. So if you're looking for more, 760 is the spot to go.
Absolutely. So yeah, the round for Scottie Scheffler started with an arrest. He was trying to drive through what was an active crime scene. Somebody was struck and killed outside of the golf course by a shuttle van. And so the police roped off the whole area. Scottie Scheffler was like, yeah, I'm just going to drive on the median. I'm going to try to get to the driving range.
Doesn't faze me.
So anyways, he was arrested, charged, processed, and released. And right now, is he on the second hole of his round?
Yeah, he's already got a birdie on the card.
Birdied the first one.
So he birdied hole 10. He's on to hole 11 on the green, and he's having a pretty good round so far. So Scottie Scheffler, number one in the world, who started his morning arrested, is now sixth in this major PGA championship. Not bad.
No, it's well, I mean, so far so good. Although his opening drive was a little wonky.
Yeah.
He recovered.
Yeah. Save par or save birdie.
Or save birdie
on that first hole. Okay.
All right, we got to test this out. One of us needs to get arrested before the show one day and see if we have a good show.
Okay.
Okay. Shot not. I've already been through that.
No.
Yeah.
No, I think I beat you. I think
he hasn't even put it sand on his nose.
I said shot not.
What is that even? I've never heard of that.
Shot not. It's I don't know.
It's an old Norwegian phrase.
Yeah, it's the Swedes.
I played nose goes, mofo.
Okay, well, shot not works. Look, the point is, you got to get arrested before Monday's show.
That's correct.
So what crime?
But you have to get back here before the show.
No, this was my idea. It's one of you guys asked to get arrested.
No. Oh yeah, you know what else was your idea? The Pocky One Chip Challenge.
You almost murdered two people.
Yeah.
You could have been charged for murder.
By the way, the coroner yesterday did come out and say it was definitely the Pocky One Chip that killed that kid out in Massachusetts.
No.
Yeah.
I'll be honest.
It was not any other circumstance.
There was a couple moments I thought I was going to die that day.
By minute 17, I thought, I don't know if I'm going to make it out of this.
Hang on. We have, unfortunately, folks, we do have to stop the show and search this right now.
But the coroner, if you go to bottom of the barrel,
yeah,
it's
already there.
It was when I was
number 2.
When I was driving home and puking up white foam. Right. I think that's when I thought, oh, maybe this is it for me.
Okay, yeah, the coroner ruled that the Massachusetts high school student who died last September after participating in the Spicy Chip Challenge died from the product's high content of chili pepper extract. So Harry Wobala, who was only 14 years old, super sad, died in September of 2023 with cardiopulmonary arrest, which means both his heart and his lungs stopped after ingesting the food substance with such a high capsaicin concentration that it actually had a physiological effect. Now, after it was initially reported that this death may have occurred in conjunction with the spicy food, we decided it would be a good idea, after stores banned it from shelves and Pocky, the company, literally removed it from circulation. We went on eBay, bought 2 more of these coffin boxed chips.
Correct.
And decided to complete the bet that we made and promise that we made to each other, that if whoever lost our season-long NFL win-loss bet would have to take the 1 chip challenge. We all tied.
Which was not a bit.
No,
that was not a bit. That actually occurred.
The Eagles had to lose 6 straight games to end the season for us all to tie.
And they did. And so we all had to take it. Well, you know what? Actually, I should change this, because the truth is, we technically, ties mean we all won and we all lost.
That's correct.
So we could have just not done it.
That would have been so soft.
But instead, we all did it.
What if I would have eaten the chip that day that Fletch brought it in? I died. Would then Fletch be in prison right now for murder?
No.
So check this out.
Yeah, I think he would be.
Fletch actually, I wonder who purchased the other chips on
I bought
eBay?
the one at 7-Eleven legally.
The one's on eBay.
Which turned out to be less money than the original.
Fletch, before he left here and vomited on his ride home.
Mine was on air. Dry heaves.
Yeah. TD, with first 15 minutes, I thought we were about to lose TD.
Look, when I got to minute 12, I thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to make it through this thing. And then by minute 14, I went, nope, I'm heading down fast.
Before Fletch left here, though, he walked in on me. So I started my journey completely after the naked show.
Yeah.
Actually, true. I was in the bathroom. I took my shirt off. Dude, I didn't even have to go, but I just dropped trout because I'm like, this is what people expect to see. Like, can you imagine what weirdo is sitting down with his pants fully up? So I'm sitting on the bowl. I have my shirt off. I'm sweating profusely. And I'm like, my stomach has never hurt more in my life. So then I realized, okay, if I do die, do I want to die on the toilet at work? Like, do I want my kids to remember me that way?
Full Elvis treatment.
Yeah. So I pull him up. I walk down to not our office, and I lay down on the couch, and then I sit up because my stomach hurts so bad. I fell asleep hunched over.
So when I walked into the office, Rich is completely hunched over, eyes down. He might have been crying at some point, or at least watering out of the eyes.
Pretty sure I was
crying. But clutching the bottle of Tums. Just like, and then he looks up and says, "What's up, bro?"
All I know is in the paperwork, when you buy the Pocky 1 chip, it says like, hey, if you last 1 minute, well, you're still a loser. But if you last 10 minutes, then high five. But if you last an hour, you're a god. Yeah. And you went 59 minutes and just over 30 seconds before you're like, I can't do it.
I mean, there was a point where I realized, like, oh my gosh, like I've never been in this much like stomach pain in my life.
Yeah, it was pain.
And I was just like, I legitimate, if I don't put something in there immediately, like what happens if that scoop of vanilla ice cream is what saves your life? I'm thinking to myself, well, screw it. I don't care about the 59 whatever I got to eat this vanilla ice cream. And I do believe that
51 seconds.
Vanilla ice cream.
Yeah, you did. There it is. Didn't you hit 1 minute?
I don't think so. No, I started eating the ice cream immediately. I made myself a little milkshake. It was great.
As Scottie Scheffler here is making his way across the course, maybe on the run of a lifetime here. Did you guys see that the NFL did some change of rules for a certain someone on scheduling?
Yeah. Yeah, we'll get into that. That's coming up. Also, what's coming up is more NBA basketball tonight. We got the Pacers. We got the Knicks. We've got prize picks.
We got prize picks.
I'm going to get busy on some Jalen Brunson tonight.
Oh, I've been busy. And this morning, I actually set 2 different lineups, both of them with Scottie Scheffler involved, both of them less than on birdies made, because I figured prize picks hadn't caught up to what was happening in the real world with Scottie Scheffler being arrested. Turns out they were just being patient, and I was the opposite of patient because Scottie Scheffler back on the course already has a birdie on the card, and I might be screwed. But prize picks, man, is the most fun I've ever had playing daily fantasy sports. I play it every single day. When Rich has talked about this before, but when you look at your like app usage, prize picks is way up there for me. And guess what? Since my initial deposit of $100 with promo code DOGS, DOGS, I have not put in more money except for when Prize Picks does these special matching promotions because I haven't had to. I've been a winner. So if you got the skills, you can be a winner too. I have deposited into my bank account over $1,500 from Prize Picks because I got the skills and I've had fun winning up to 100 times my money through basketball and baseball and MMA, especially MMA. That's where I have the most success. But Richie, what are you setting up right now? I can see you making a lineup.
Yeah. I'm making a lineup with Jalen Brunson over, or I shouldn't say over, but more than 45 points, rebounds, and assists. And then Dante DiVincenzo. Oh no. Oh gosh, they're on the same team. Okay, I'm gonna switch. I'm calling an audible. I'm gonna find someone to go. But I think that Jalen Brunson, who's been on a heater this postseason, is gonna have a big night tonight in Game 6 of this Knicks Pacers showdown here in the NBA postseason.
Quick withdrawals, easy gameplay, enormous selection of players and stat types. That's what makes Prize Picks the #1 daily fantasy sports app with over 5 million active users. Get on over there today. Download the app, Prize Picks, PRIZPICKS. Download the app, and when you download it, use promo code DOGS, DOGS, as in roadies, dogs, hangers, bangers, and you're going to get a first deposit match up to $100. Prize Picks. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy.
Big Rich, TD and Fletch, Bar Cart Friday. Woo! We're going to be busy beavers this weekend.
Tony's here. Tony's here, guys. Tony's here.
Tony's here. Tony Concha. He's in the building. He brought with him Woodinville bourbon. We're very excited to have a little sampler of that. It's available at all 10 locations at Keg and Bottle, also kegandbottle.com.
Father's Day. Father's Day.
I didn't even think about that. Father's Day is here. Get to kegandbottle.com. Buy yourself. Well, actually, let's do the taste test first. I'm not going to encourage anybody to buy this before we do the official taste test.
Right.
When is Father's Day?
It's June 20th, somewhere around there.
Do your wives treat you as good as you treated them on Mother's Day?
Oh, yeah.
Dude.
Yeah, come on.
Not even close.
she's
not
listening.
Even close.
Let me see.
Dads?
No.
What?
Phil's going 2 gloves?
He's going double glove.
Wow.
Loser.
Why you got to be like that? June 16th. June 16th would be
raining.
Father's Day.
Here's the thing about Father's Day.
He actually looks like he's going to commit a murder.
By the way, Phil Mickelson, double black gloves.
Yeah,
too.
I mean,
what are we doing?
This is scary.
Do you know what I get on Father's Day? This is what I get. I get the morning. I usually get the morning on Father's Day. That's what I get. My request is simple every year, and it has been some years that it's actually come through. I always request the same thing. It's the Winston Churchill breakfast. It's like eggs and bacon and champagne.
Cigar.
That's
and
fantastic.
A cigar.
That's fantastic.
And a glass of bourbon or scotch. Usually I like a bourbon. And it's like a 4-course breakfast meal. And it's supposed to be served in bed. I think it's only actually happened twice. I've been asking for this for basically.
Smoke a cigar in bed?
Oh, I've asked. She still hasn't allowed me to smoke a cigar in bed. But every Father's Day, I try to sneak out at some point and smoke a cigar. It's my favorite thing. But like I said, it rarely happens.
I always ask for nothing. Like, can we do nothing? And that never occurs.
No. Yeah. So to answer your question. No. Yeah,
so power rankings, Mother's Day is number 1.
Dude, Mother's Day is the top holiday in our household.
And when you blew it, by the way, you did nothing for dog mom Kendall.
Oh no,
she's not a mom.
Oh no.
I don't know if she's mom Kendall.
When she is a mother, I will full 9 yards.
Did she bring up the fact that you did nothing?
Like a month out.
Wait, hold on.
Like a month before.
A month before she said something.
Oh, she made
but
the
like
request.
Day of, there was nothing. I was gonna say it hasn't been a month since
day
Mother's
of.
Day.
We took her mom out to a really nice lunch, and it was great because she's a mom.
Well, yeah, but Kendall, dog mom. Kendall actually
not a mom.
But in like 8.5 months.
1,000% positive.
Sure?
There is no baby in the belly.
Okay, but hang on a second. Like this is kind of like one of those things where at the bank, when you make your initial deposit,
right.
It's only $5. But wait 8 months and
please don't talk about my wife as a bank.
No, I'm just saying, I'm more talking about
that you deposit things into.
Like I'm just
God.
What liquid assets?
I mean, I guess.
Lap.
What are you talking about? We're talking about making money.
We're saying you're making bank, bro.
You're bank.
Tell me about your truck before I come in there and kick some ass.
Well, you know what? I tell you, on Father's Day, what I would like to do is hop in the GMC.
Go ahead.
Grab a cup of coffee.
Oh, this is going differently than I thought.
And make bank, bro. Make a deposit. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I do. With my good friend Jamie.
No one does it better than him. No, I'm telling you, GMC, North County Cadillac GMC is the place to go if you're looking to start your car buying experience. I'm telling you, they will take care of you. Jamie, the GM, will take care of you.
Oh, yeah.
Flex throwing papers right at us here. But no, I promise. Look, go there, mention TD sent you. Don't mention TD sent you. Either way, they're going to take great care of you. It's going to be the best car buying experience of your life. I promise you that. Time after time, I hear about how great North County Cadillac GMC is. And not just because they have incredible savings on GMC Sierras, Cadillac Lyrics, the GMC Canyon. Go check that thing out, man. Nice. That's a great truck. But they can also help you get a great deal on a pre-owned vehicle, but they take care of you. Like this review right here. Brought my truck in for the basics, and as always, received excellent service. Larry is my service advisor. I can't be happier with his thoroughness and professionalism. This is after the sale. They're taking their car back there to get worked on because they don't want anybody else to touch it. I get it. Larry, he's my service guy as well. Nobody touches my truck except Larry. And look, there's a reason why North County Cadillac GMC was voted San Diego's best domestic auto dealer in the San Diego Union Tribune Readers Poll. Go there, experience the difference for yourself. Stop by North County Cadillac GMC in the heart of the Escondido Auto Mall today. North County Cadillac GMC, exceeding your expectations every time.
It's hour 3 on Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. This update presented by Lexus Escondido, where you'll experience auto enjoyment. We will begin here with the Padres. They got a 4-game series with the Braves coming up tonight in Atlanta. 4:20 first pitch. Matt Waldron on the mound for the Padres. And in golf, the second round of the PGA Championship officially underway now after being delayed this morning due to a fatal car accident involving a pedestrian just outside the entrance to the Valhalla Golf Club. Branching off that story, though, the number 1 golfer in the world, Scottie Scheffler, arrived a little bit later in the morning, ended up getting arrested after an altercation with police officers. Scheffler was released this morning. He's back at the course. He's on the 3rd hole, already has a birdie on the card. This PGA Championship update brought to you by the Golf Mart, home of the 90-day guarantee. And in the NBA playoffs, the Timberwolves blow out the Nuggets last night in Game 6. That forces a Game 7 in Denver on Sunday. Experience auto enjoyment today at Lexus Escondido and save with Lexus Lease Cash on a large selection of new Lexus electric and hybrid models. See details at LexusEscondido.com. Experience auto enjoyment today at Lexus Escondido.
Thank God it's Friday! It's been a long week and the fellas are thirsty.
Scott. Here it goes down into my belly.
It's time to cruise into the weekend. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch present Bar Card Friday. Brought to you by Keg and Bottle, with the best selection of bourbon, whiskey, tequila, private section bottles, and more.
My problem is I drink too much, way too much.
Yeah.
I get my doctor a urine specimen. There was an olive in it.
Now, let's pour some drinks.
Big Rich, TD, and Fletch, happy Friday to those who celebrate, and a happy Bar Cart Friday to all. Woo! We're doing it, and we're doing it today with Woodinville Whiskey Company, brought to you by the great Tony Kanja, owner-operator of Keg and Bottle and kegatbottle.com. And by the way, we're going to introduce our guest this morning, August, who's with Woodinville Whiskey Co. He brings us this gorgeous box. If you're watching on the live stream today, we got this sampler pack of the rye whiskey, the bourbon whiskey, and some barrel-aged maple syrup.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, normally is about $130. It's on sale right now for $99 at Keg and Bottle. If you don't have a Father's Day present yet, and it is quickly approaching, this is what you need to get your dad.
Right. By the way, if dad doesn't live close, they can ship it to you.
They can ship it to you, kegatbottle.com. So this is very cool. Tony, how you doing this morning, bud?
Very blessed. How are you guys?
We're really good.
Rocking and rolling.
Doing a lot better than Scottie Scheffler, although he's doing well on the course.
Yes. Was he?
Yeah.
Wow.
What a crazy story.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
He's 5 under for the tournament. He's on hole 3 right now of his round. He's playing the back 9
He bogeyed
first.
3.
He bogeyed 3?
His 3rd. So 12.
Okay, so he bogeyed his 3rd hole of the course.
But he birdied 2?
Yeah, birdie 1. He
Okay.
birdied hole 10 as he teed off.
I thought he was 4 under to start. I don't know. Whatever math.
Yeah, he's back to 4 under now. So he birdied a hole, he bogeyed a hole, now he's back to 4 under.
Okay. All right. Well, that's not what that says, but
that's
I
it.
believe you.
But you might be right. You might just be right. Or maybe he's working. Are you looking into the future, Fletch?
No, I'm looking at the live update on like the Google.
Look up here.
Well,
Look
yeah,
up at the
I'm
screen.
looking at the screen.
Oh, you
My screen
can't
gets
see?
cut off, but I do know that that's behind what Google is.
Okay.
All right.
Well,
Okay.
quit playing with your Googler back there.
Quit playing games with my Google.
We got Austin James Mahoney in studio right now. He's poured us up a delicious little snifter of some whiskey here. What are we sipping on here, August? And good morning, by the way.
Yeah,
buddy.
good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me. I was going to sleep in today, and I decided to get up at 6:30 a.m. thanks to Tony. No, thank you so much for having me and being able to introduce Woodinville to everybody. What we have in the glass today is a 5-year, 90 proof, high rye whiskey distilled in the state of Washington, actually in the town of Woodinville, which is just outside of Seattle, about 30 minutes northeast of downtown Seattle.
Wow, that's crazy. They named the town after the whiskey.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know why that got me so good. That got me.
Right. Okay.
Normally we make them take laps for lame jokes. That one just, man, that tickled.
It was lame.
No,
Okay.
I mean,
All right,
some would argue it.
take a little
Some say it tickles. Okay, here, let's take a sip.
Yeah. Here we go. It's Friday,
That's
boys.
how you start the day.
It is Friday. God, that's good.
That really is.
August. How do they do it, man? How do you make it? How do you make it so good?
Dude, that is really good. I'm so glad. You know, I was talking about at break. I was saying how sometimes when tequila comes through the door on a Bar Card Friday, like you take that first sip of tequila at 8 o'clock in the morning, you're like, oh my God, the taste buds weren't ready for that. But for whatever reason, whiskey, when it washes over your tongue, it doesn't matter what time of the day or night. There's something special about it. And you guys have a really good taste in bourbon right there.
Yeah, and it's got a sweet note on the back end of it that kind of creeps up late as it warms you up as it goes down. What is that? Is there a little caramel in that?
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing added to it, but bourbon by definition can't have anything added to it.
Yeah.
But it is part of the aging process. In parts like the caramel, they call vanillin comes out of the wood. The way that we age the whiskey kind of gets you the warmth right in the chest, which is actually kind of a good thing to wake you up in the morning.
Yeah, I'm feeling it. You know what? My voice got a little deeper.
I mean, I'm
amazing. I mean,
more of a man now.
Yeah, all of a
what's
sudden
happened.
I'm getting hair in strange places. You know what? Thank you, August. Things are going well. No, so when you go through the process of making bourbon, we've talked about this with Tony many times, but like there's so many rules. Like it's not allowed to be called a bourbon if this and that. I mean, is it more difficult of a spirit to distill, or is it the favorite? Like, how would you describe it?
Bourbon, like strangely enough, is one of the most like regulated spirits in the world. Even single malt Scotch, for example, has less sort of regulation. Bourbon, by congressional decree, United States congressional decree, in 1964 was declared to be made in a certain way. So it has to be made in the United States. You need these new charred oak barrels, and it has to be at least 51% corn. Ours is 72% corn, 22% rye, and 6% malted barley.
Right on.
Yeah.
And it has one more thing. It cannot be, and nothing can be added to it.
Precisely.
Right.
There's also distilling proof, entry proof, and fill proof. Yep. And then the G in that is a genuine article, which would be nothing added to it.
So we'll test everyone later, but it can't go in the barrel for higher than 120 proof or lower than 80 proof.
Interesting.
So those are the 5 things that will make it a bourbon. So you'll notice on a bunch of whiskeys that they don't say the word bourbon. Like Jack Daniels is not a bourbon.
Right.
Yeah,
that's charcoal filtered it, so that's technically an additive. And
wow.
Yeah, it's also Tennessee whiskey, and they take very state pride in producing Tennessee whiskey, not bourbon, so to speak.
Got it.
What about the Washington whiskey scene? Are you guys like one of the first? I mean, because I don't associate the state of Washington with whiskey or bourbon for that matter.
Sure.
Is it newer to the scene?
Yeah, I mean, historically speaking, yes. I mean, Kentucky, everybody knows 95% of the world's bourbon production is happening in Kentucky.
Yeah.
So everyone ties that together, but you can make it anywhere in the United States. So yeah, we make straight bourbon whiskey in the state of Washington. We were one of the first craft distilleries in the state. A few smaller ones have popped up, but we're number one in Washington.
Is there anything about Washington and the climate that makes Woodinville taste different than the others? Is it the climate that's kind of giving some of the notes on this?
Yeah, it is. So we distill in Woodinville, and as I mentioned, it's just outside of Seattle. That's not a great area to age whiskey, but that's where the distillery is. That's where the owners and founders grew up. But we actually age the whiskey a few hours east, up and over the Cascade Mountains, in Quincy. That's actually where the farm where we grow the corn and rye is located as well too. Those weather conditions are much more similar to Kentucky. If you look at like a graph, it's almost the same. Like it's 100 degrees in the summer, and then there's snow on the ground in the winter.
Oh my gosh!
Interesting.
So it's
humidity levels stay roughly the same when you go east.
A little bit, yeah. It's the one thing that differentiates us from Kentucky is that we're less humid. So it's a high desert kind of thing. So we get more extraction. So there's a bit more of what we call an angel share. As the barrels age, they lose alcohol, they lose water. It concentrates the flavors. We get a bit more of that in Eastern Washington.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So if you haven't gotten your hands on any Woodinville Whiskey Company bourbon yet, go ahead and get yourself a bottle, because after one sip, we're sold. This is good stuff. We're going to try the maple old fashioned in just a second with the flagship bourbon. But before we do that, if you've been watching the Padres, you have a pretty good reason to drink a lot of whiskey, because over the past 3 games, it's been a little rough.
Yeah.
So pop up with some Woodinville and enjoy this series against the Braves. Wow. Dude, I mean, I know the breaking news of the day was Scottie Scheffler at the PGA Championship getting arrested before his round. We'll get to that, but it's been so depressing talking about the Padres lately. We've sort of steered away from it today. Gosh, this team, what an unbelievable disappointment after having such a fun weekend against the Dodgers. To dive back in and have what happened against the Rockies, it just stinks.
And you know what I think is going to happen this weekend against the Braves? They're going to be great. Like the Padres are going to play excellent baseball. They're going to win 3 out of 4. It's going to be a complete turnaround because that's what this team has liked to do so far. Is they've liked to take you on the high highs and the low lows. And the other day I said it, but the Padres' biggest competition is themselves. Like on paper, they match up with every team across Major League Baseball. I don't care if it's the Yankees who've had a nice start or the Dodgers who are just Mr. Consistent, but they match up with everyone. And it seems to be whichever team shows up to play for the Padres, whether it's the evil goatee Tiger Padres or the clean-shaven dominant Masters Padres, that's how it's going to be. So Matt Waldron on the mound tonight, who's also been a mixed bag of nuts, I'm expecting greatness.
and on one hand, it's going to absolutely piss me off, and on the other hand, I'm going to love it.
Well,
so I mean,
that's
welcome to being a Padres fan.
Yeah, exactly.
And you are. I mean, like, and that's how a lot of people's fan experience watching the Padres this season. And oh, by the way, last season. And oh, by the way, the regular season before that in 2022 has been. Your experience watching this team has been, come on, guys, can we just play up to our caliber and play to the stats on the back of our baseball cards?
I don't know. At this point, I'm not even asking to play up to the caliber or the stats on the baseball cards. Like, I mean, play half of that.
Let's get Manny Machado, Fernando Tatis, Xander Bogaerts not to be 3 of the bottom 4 players in terms of batting average on this team.
That's what I'm saying.
That does feel like that would be a good thing.
That would solve a lot of issues.
Solve a lot of problems. You know, Fletch, you're a smart guy. You've watched sports for a long time. You said something really important there. And it's something that you said over the course of the week. And it's this feeling of like when you're tuning into the Padres and you're watching them play, like just look like you're having fun. Like look like you're enjoying yourself at least a little bit. I mean, it looks like work. This team, the one thing that has carried, I think, this fan base, and the reason why there are still sellout crowds with the Padres over at Petco Park, is how much fun we've had rooting for this team in the recent years. But it has been a little bit of a struggle bus.
And if you watch that Rockies series, the Padres got booed off the field in the last game, the 8-0 blowout for the Rockies, and there were boos a smattering throughout the other 2 games as well, because you're losing to the Rockies, and standards should be a little bit higher than that.
Yeah, it really has been a rough stretch.
Are you sure Scheffler bogeyed anything?
No, see, Google might be lying to me, but I'm telling you, what I saw on Google was bogey on his 3rd.
I'm looking at the live leaderboard.
Yeah.
And it shows him down 1 for the round.
Maybe I was wrong.
That's all I'm looking at here.
You know what? Yep. We do refer to Fletch as the fountain of misinformation.
This time I was reading it off a screen. So
and unfortunately,
it does say 1 under.
It does say 1 under on the round. Yeah. This is what happens.
Okay, but it said it on the screen. Like I'm not making it up.
I believe you. I believe that we will win. I believe that we will win. I believe that we will win. We're going to do this before we do the old-fashioned?
No, let's sip the old-fashioned.
I was really excited to sip an old-fashioned.
We'll get to halftime. And TD, we all are curious what you have for us, but it's what August has for us first.
You know why he was panicking?
Why?
Because he knows he's going to have to take a lap after his halftime.
No, I feel strong about this. I feel strong about this one.
You only had one NBA game last night.
And I feel good about it, guys.
It was the Timberwolves-Denver game. The Timberwolves took the Denver Nuggets out behind the woodshed. Right. Speaking of Woodinville, goodness gracious. But okay, we have a cocktail in front of us that will not be denied.
I don't see Kim here with a drink in hand.
Oh yeah.
Come on. No. You're a bourbon girl today because now you handle accounts all the way up to Sacktown, the Bay Area, and back down.
Oh, no big deal.
Yeah, no big deal. Yeah, no big deal.
Big time promotion.
It's fine. Yeah, get this girl a drink. But in the meantime, we were handed these maple old fashions in glasses that, August, if you put a cowboy hat on, is that your silhouette?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought.
All right, so how did you make this? A maple old fashioned? What'd you throw in here?
I thought it was appropriate for drinking at 8:15 in the morning to make an old fashioned with our barrel aged maple syrup.
Nice.
So we take grade A Vermont's maple syrup. We throw it in our once used whiskey and rye barrels. Fill those bad boys up, and let that maple syrup age for about a year. It's the best maple syrup in the world. Makes it a delicious old fashioned as well too.
Holy God!
Yeah.
Oh my. And by the way, are these ice cubes in the shape of an anvil, or is that just from the way I was stirring my drink?
Yeah. It's how nature intended. I think it was
anvil. Wait, yours is too?
Yeah, look at that.
Mine's a nuclear explosion.
Oh yeah, it does kind of look like a mushroom crab.
Wow. This is what you drink for breakfast.
Yeah, actually, I'll tell you right now, this is going to be the official breakfast of this show.
Wow. Oh my gosh, that's great.
How delicious.
That is fantastic.
Imagine it with a waffle.
So August being pretty modest, but they do everything from grain to bottle. Am I right?
Exactly, Tony. Yes. So we take pride in the fact that we do everything under one roof, under the umbrella of Woodinville. And we partnered with a single family farm in Eastern Washington that was having some financial trouble. They're third generation farmers from the area. We came in and asked them to grow us tons and tons of corn. They decided to keep their farming practice going. Now we've partnered with them exclusively for the corn and rye that go into the bourbon. So everything's under one roof. We call it from grain to glass. It's all Woodinville Whiskey Company.
This is perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, it's perfect.
Yeah.
Wow.
You're a heck of a mixologist there, August.
And if you get this little kit here, you got everything you need. For $99 right now, keganbottle.com, the Woodinville. I mean, what do you call this box?
I would call it
That's what it is.
The gift set.
Comes with a bourbon, comes with a rye, comes with a maple syrup that is hard to find.
I would call it the whiskey charcuterie board. It has maple syrup and rye and bourbon. Yes, that's all I need on my training table.
That's right. That's right.
This is seriously good stuff. And what's amazing is, starting with you said the bourbon's the flagship. Was this like the first spirit you guys produced, and then you branched off from there?
Exactly. Yeah. Bourbon was what Brett and Orlin, my bosses, the founders, wanted to make all within the state of Washington. That's what their heart was set on, and they got the best mentorship from one of the best in the biz. A fellow named Dave Pickerell, who founded Whistle Pig Whiskey.
Oh yeah.
He was working with them. He came over to our distillery and helped us out for a whole year in terms of producing our bourbon. He also has the know-how of how to make rye whiskey, which is a little bit more difficult to produce. He said, you have the tools to make rye. You're making amazing bourbon. Let me show you how to make rye whiskey. Yeah. And actually, that's what's in the cocktail. I switched it up on you guys to see what you might think. That's what's in the maple old fashioned is actually the rye.
This is the rye?
This is 100% rye.
You know what's interesting? I don't know if it's because I've had more bourbon. I barely... When I think about whiskey, I barely think about rye whiskey. I don't know. I don't even know if I could discern the taste. So do you have some rye that we could try neat today as well?
Absolutely.
Wasn't it rye that we got poured first?
That was the bourbon, right?
Yeah.
It was a bourbon.
Yeah, that was the bourbon for. Yeah, check this out. We got the rye right there. That's in the gift box over here. The charcuterie board of whiskey.
Rye whiskey.
Yeah, so I can already feel it. It's 8:19. This is gonna be one of them days, boys.
Yep, that's what I was thinking as well. Oh, okay, here comes the rye.
Here's the rye.
Kimberly,
Kim,
come on.
Kim?
Yeah, Kimberly.
Here, talk right on the mic.
Talk right on the mic. Put those headphones on. It's fine.
The question is, will you succumb to peer pressure and drink whiskey with us this morning, Kim?
Why?
Oh, so you'll just put us on your Instagram story and not actually have fun with us?
Yeah, she can't hear you.
Yeah.
You took the headphones off?
She's refusing to talk.
They're not playing.
Music playing.
Oh yeah, that's right. There's music playing.
What's supposed to happen?
Yeah, go ahead and put those on. There's music. There's music playing. You hear us as well.
Like background piano.
Yeah.
That's us. That's what's happening right now. This is a Bar Card Friday, Cam. This is a classy joint. What? No. If you put the headphones on, you will hear us and background piano.
Well, listen,
come on.
It's like the movie Casablanca. Yeah. Without the music, is it the same movie?
Right.
The answer is absolutely not,
no
Kim.
way. Absolutely
we're setting the scene. We call it ambiance. That's a French word for ambiance.
Setting the scene.
Right.
Yeah, whatever that is. What? You can't hear us at all?
No, now I can.
Okay, good.
Excellent. Well, we can hear you loud and clear.
So how come you don't have the rye whiskey in your hand?
Yeah.
No, it's not for me.
What?
No
but
offense.
this is a
No
Bar
offense.
Card Friday, Kim. It's
Do
for
you
everyone.
understand?
It's for everyone. For everyone over the age of 21. I almost said 18, and that was not correct.
You're
Yeah.
talking. We're sitting across from August James O'Mahony.
Yeah.
Is that how you say
How
your
do you say
name?
your last name?
It doesn't get more Irish than that, which explains a lot. No, yeah, O'Mahony is right on there. Actually, in the old country, it's O'Mahony. I've been corrected by actual Ireland people, also known as the Irish.
Let's call them Ireland. Let's call them Ireland people. For science.
But it's O'Mahony. But
Have you ever gone back to the Green Island? Have you ever visited the home turf?
I'm going back there in just about a month. I won a contest within our company.
Nice.
A trip to Scotland to go to our sister distillery, Glenmorangie, in Scotland. And we're going to make a little trip over to the Green Isle and spend a couple days there.
When you say sister company, is it because the owners have a part share in there, or are you guys like in like a barrel share situation? How does it work? Like, how does that relationship work?
Yeah. We are part of a larger portfolio, and the whiskeys in that company there are two single malts: Ardbeg, which is an Isla single malt, and then Glenmorangie. Two of my favorite whiskeys on. planet Earth.
I've drank Glenmorangie. I've recently. They have that sherry cask, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Man.
I have that in the liquor cabinet.
I don't know if it's the Woodinville, but I heard Warren G. Yeah, which so
by the way,
I mean,
listen,
is coming on the show. Fletch, can you welcome in Warren G?
Yeah, we got to regulate.
Yeah, we do.
Kim, you are just staring around the room. You are unimpressed with anything happening.
I'm taking it all in, man.
What? You don't even have the headphones
You know
on.
what I'm about to take in? I'm going to take in a little bit of this rye whiskey as promised from our buddy August over here. Hang on. It's got a good nose. Oh, he's over here. No, you don't have to.
You almost did.
I didn't say.
You almost
I
did.
didn't even say.
That
it.
almost went through my. I almost had rye whiskey through my nose.
Hang on a second. No, that's good.
That was real good.
Dude, that is really good.
Ooh, a little more of a bite on the rye.
A little spicier.
Yeah, a little spicier.
Well, when you taste
percentage rye in
it,
that?
is there more corn in the rye than the bourbon?
This rye is actually 100% rye, so there's no corn, no wheat.
Okay.
So that's
Wow.
why it's such a kind of
Right.
pure expression.
And by that, I
Right.
meant, is there like no corn in
no
this
corn.
rye?
Yeah, that's what he said.
It's actually a good question because most people, to be a rye, has to be 51% rye.
Exactly, yeah.
So every distillery does it a little different. They all have their different mash bills, but
Yeah,
100% is not always the way they do it. So that's pretty
Yeah.
impressive because it's more expensive to use rye. And
Yeah.
if you don't do it right, it's just off-putting because it's too hot. It just doesn't. It's not smooth,
This is
So it
smooth.
punches you
No,
in the
yeah.
face. So Pickerel, God rest his soul, did an amazing job. With the recipe there. So amazing.
Really good
So I
stuff.
don't want anyone to worry, but I have reached out to our friends over at Prize Picks and seen if I could add a new category. How many times would Rich Orberger get dumped during one radio show? More or less than that 0.5 times dumped. Today would have been the more than.
You
Damn it.
dumped that?
Yeah, dude.
What? It was.
I mean, half the word comes out.
It
It's
was.
Oh, no.
I was like, oh.
I could have been saying the
hold
word
up.
fun,
Yeah,
or maybe the
or
word a fudge.
falafel.
but you
guys
weren't.
know I
Context
love-
is what matters.
I love
Prize Picks is what
vanilla
matters. And
fudge.
you all need to get over to Prize Picks today. Download the app. Use promo code DOGS, DOGS, and you're going to get a first deposit match up to $100. Richie, did you figure out what you're doing tonight?
Oh yeah. I'm firing away on Prize Picks. Let me look at my lineups right now. Open lineup: Jalen Brunson, more than 45 points, rebounds, and assists. I think he's going to go off in Game 6 tonight against the Pacers. On the Pacers side, I got Aaron Nesmith with less than 10 points. And the reason why I did that is Prize Picks offers you the stats on the last 5 games that these players participated in. The last 4 games for Aaron Nesmith, he left one and he scored under 10 points in 3 of his last 3. So I like it. I like to do that. I like to do a little research, and Prize Picks offers that for
Yeah,
me.
you're doing the deep dive on KBO baseball often, aren't you?
Well, see, that's the thing. I don't do any deep diving on Korean baseball. What I do is I
Spray and pray.
I pick the names I like, and I just go more and less, and then I have a lot of fun when I wake up the next morning and I win.
So for Kim Hallisey, for example, who's not partaking in the bourbon, you must partake in Prize Picks.
Oh,
With your
yeah.
fancy new promotion,
That's
you
right.
can afford the $100.
Right.
You're going to get your first deposit matched
Kim,
up to $100.
Wait, but promo code?
Dogs.
Right.
DOGS, as in
Download
roadies,
it, download
dogs,
it right now, Kim.
hangers,
Download it right now.
bangers.
Yeah.
Download the app today. Use code DOGS for a first deposit
She's
match up
doing
to
it.
$100.
She's doing it,
That
guys.
is code DOGS on Prize Picks for a first deposit match up to $100. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy. This update presented by Lexus Escondido, where you'll experience auto enjoyment. Padres open up a 4-game series with the Braves tonight in Atlanta. 4:20 first pitch. Matt Waldron on the mound for the Friars. And in golf, the second round of the PGA Championship, it's been delayed due to a fatal car accident. It's going now, but it was involving a pedestrian just outside the entrance to Valhalla Golf Club. Branching off that story, the number one golfer in the world, Scottie Scheffler, he arrived a little bit after that accident, ended up getting arrested after an altercation with police officers. Scheffler has been released. He's back on the course. He's playing well. That PGA Championship update brought to you by the Golf Mart, home of the 90-day guarantee. And coming up tomorrow right here on San Diego Sports 760, beginning at 11 a.m., live coverage of the PGA Championship out there in Kentucky. NBA playoffs. The Timberwolves blow out the Nuggets last night in Game 6. They force a Game 7 in Denver on Sunday. And coming up tonight, it is the Knicks. It is the Pacers playing some ball on the TV. Experience auto enjoyment today at Lexus Escondido and save with Lexus Lease Cash on a large selection of new Lexus electric and hybrid models. See details at LexusEscondido.com. Experience auto enjoyment today at Lexus Escondido.
Thank God it's Friday! It's been a long week and the fellas are thirsty.
Scott. Here it goes down into my belly.
It's time to cruise into the weekend. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch present Bar Card Friday. Brought to you by Keg and Bottle. With the best selection of bourbon, whiskey, tequila, private section bottles, and more.
My problem is I drink too much, way too much.
Yeah.
I get my doctor a urine specimen. There was an olive in it.
Now, let's pour some drinks.
Happy Friday to those who celebrate. Happy Bar Cart Friday to you all. If you're getting prepared for Father's Day, June 16th, by the way, it's coming up pretty soon. We have the sampler pack for you. A little bit of the Woodinville Whiskey Co. bourbon, maple syrup, and rye whiskey in a box, usually on sale for about $130. If you go to kegandbottle.com or any of the 10 locations, Keg and Bottle across San Diego, you can pick it up for $99 today. That is a
How come nobody's putting on the headphones? EB, fourth voice of the show, Aaron Bauman, only handles accounts here at iHeart San Diego. Over $621 million.
Yeah, very, very precise. Very precise.
Yeah. And that's why I'm here.
Yeah, exactly.
Precisely what
Tony Kanja
here. She says minus like 621 million.
Well, she'll make exceptions for friends.
Yeah, right.
We do.
Right.
You're in the neighborhood.
Yeah. EB, Kim not wanting to drink any of the bourbon here, are you going to be able to peer pressure her into taking a sip?
Probably not. Because I know that she is not a bourbon girl. I know this. I know these facts.
Listen, but what about, hey, how about this? Is Kim a rye girl?
Why?
Because we have rye whiskey as well.
Uh-huh.
She seems nervous. She doesn't seem like she's excited.
I don't think she wants that either.
Oh, gosh.
That's weird.
You know what? I want
there
all
it goes.
Oh, she's going for it.
We knew it. We knew we could peer pressure people into drinking at 8:30 in the morning.
Teach Kim the tricks that Whiskey Nomad taught us.
Oh, yeah,
where you just put it in your mouth and you like let it get over your teeth. What'd she say?
Okay, so you take a tiny little sip. Okay, this is true. So this lady who's like a whiskey influencer online, she said you take a tiny sip at first and you swish it all over your tongue, all over your teeth, all over your gums, everywhere. And that gets rid of the initial burn of the spirit.
Right.
And this way, your next sip is like you can truly taste the alcohol and not be bothered by the burn. Does that make any sense to you? Okay. So all right. I mean, so I'm not telling you what to do. You can do it any way you want. You can take a shot for all I care.
What's in our hand, by the way?
Oh, yeah. What did we just get poured?
Gents, we have the Woodinville Whiskey Company port cask finished straight bourbon whiskey.
Yeah.
Now you're talking.
Yeah. By the way, Kim, Aaron, was it us that made you walk in the studio or was it August?
Yeah.
I mean, look at
this guy.
Look at this guy.
Right now.
Handsome dude.
Yeah.
He's right now.
Handsome individual.
And you know what, August, I'm not even kidding when I say this. I'm getting that haircut right after
now. He's taking a picture.
Right.
Like,
we kind of have we have the salt and pepper thing going on. Like that looks good on you.
But August goes high and tight on the sides.
No, I don't mind. I'm doing that.
Yeah, okay.
I'm doing it.
Yeah.
I'm doing it. I'm not even kidding. I'm doing it as soon as the show ends. I am so jeallt of how good his haircut looks.
It's a silver fox over there.
And then we're gonna be like, you got the August, huh?
Yeah. That's what you asked for.
Don't say that. Like we're gonna call it the Tricky Dicky Wurmburger. Anyway, so you were saying about the pork cast finish.
No, more about my hair. The Portcast finish is
only hair on my body.
True.
Yes. This is my favorite day.
Oh, my favorite day. There's a bottle in my face. So well, go on. More about the Portcast.
Go on. Yes, the Portcast finish is the same straight bourbon whiskey we started out with. We take that same whiskey, dump it out, and refill used ruby port wine barrels, and let that age for another like 6 to 9 months.
Yeah,
it takes on some special flavors. I get like a little bit more of the sort of like bitter chocolate coffee notes, but also kind of like fruit leather. All these fancy terms. It's just delicious. I love this whiskey. It is one of my favorites.
That's really good stuff. So I told you like the sherry cask or whatever it is, the Glenmorangie.
Yes.
This is the one that reminds me of that. Like, a little bit of the sweetness from the wine barrels. This is good stuff, man.
Really good.
Holy
yeah,
smokes.
this is really good. This is a fun one. Tony, what's this bottle cost?
So these bottles go anywhere from $49 on the low end for the bourbons and the rye, and then they go up to about $89 for the higher marks. And the barrel picks that you're going to try next are on that line as well.
Okay.
So you mentioned the show today, and you received 20% off at the store. So
this is a $90 bottle. I mean, I'm not kidding you. This feels like this should be in the hundreds of dollars. It's fantastic.
And it goes back to them making everything from scratch using. I think they even use cooperage, local cooperage, where you get the barrels from.
We actually use Independent Stave Company in Lebanon, Missouri. It is the premier craft cooperage in the world, and we get the most expensive, nicest barrels from them. If we've never skimped on quality through the whole process for our whiskeys.
And that's a cooper is somebody who makes a barrel.
Yes, sir.
So that's I love things.
They also make tires.
Get the hell out of here. Oh, wait. Are you talking about the brand Cooper tire?
There's like 4 laps you need to take, but just do one. Just do one.
Give me Bucky one, Chip. Good God.
At first, I swear to God, I was like, oh, it kind of makes sense.
I wasn't done with that one, Tony.
You got to hammer those little rings around the barrel staves, right? And then I'm thinking like, oh, maybe that's the same process with tire making. And then I realized what you did to me.
You want me to take a lap in this condition?
You do need to take a lap.
I may get in an accident.
Hopefully.
Too far. I mean, yeah.
EB, what's wrong? What's going on? Are you sad?
I was like, oh, really?
No. You know what? Wow. You should probably run just one lap.
And then come back and do a half.
Actually, bring the cup with you.
Okay. Hang on. I'll be right back.
He's running while intoxicated. That's an RWI. That's an RWI. You're going to have to take him away. But speaking of,
should give him my scooter.
Scottie Scheffler on his way to the PGA Championship. For anybody who missed this and you're watching television, you realize every single TV is on a gentleman in a quarter zip on a golf course right now. The reason is because he was arrested before his second round during this major tournament. He decided to drive through an active crime scene.
Where somebody died.
Yeah. Like, unfortunately, the lead story would have been that somebody was struck with a shuttle bus outside the course and passed away due to their injuries. But Scottie Scheffler, he ended up.
Impossible.
Oh, wait a second. You didn't take the lap?
Impossible.
You didn't take the real lap?
It was a legit lap, and I tasted on the back end.
Impossible.
Wow.
No, that was a full lap, Tony. I'm so fast.
Hang on. Let's see if he's out of breath. Hang on.
I'm out of breath.
That's a fake out of breath.
Is he faking?
Are you kidding me right now?
He left one way and he came back the other way.
Yeah, he crawled under.
Don't you? Did you crawl
It's
under?
happened before.
I've seen that.
I took the lap.
See, this is the problem with lying once. Now everybody can't trust you.
Check with Lucinda K. I ran right past her.
What did you tell her? What did you tell her your crime was when you left?
I don't think I said anything.
She was busy.
Do
you have to announce drinking?
Yeah. I took the drink right back by Cool Guy, by I Heart Cool Guys. Okay, golly, everybody,
let's hear it.
Listen,
Yeah, well,
listen.
He might owe us another lap here in a second. We'll see how good this one is.
I never intended to disregard any of the instructions. I'm hopeful to put this on the side and focus on my golf today. That's what Scottie Scheffler said.
Now you're making fun of a crime.
That's what he said.
Somebody died.
I didn't say anything about death here, Fletch. That's what he said to Jeff Darlington following his arrest early this morning.
Maybe that's the problem, TD.
What?
Maybe that's the problem.
Padres out in Hotlanta this weekend. Game 1 of 4. A 4-game series starts today at 4:20, bro.
You are so
What happens
close.
at 4:20?
Yeah, what does happen?
First pitch.
What was that? Pitch. Okay, with a P.
Pitch.
Okay, we got to
That's
make
correct.
sure we enunciate.
Matt Waldron on the mound for the Padres.
He's a knuckleballer.
Yeah, he is.
Tricky to hit.
That's right.
And
That's right.
sometimes not.
Sometimes.
More or less than 3 strikeouts for Matt.
I'm going to take
More.
less.
I took more.
You took more?
I took more.
Big
Wow.
mistake.
But I haven't won on a single
Yeah.
Padres prize picks all year.
Tony's taking
You're winning
more?
today, baby.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, but Tony's always positive. But when it comes to the
He is a Padre positive.
Mhm.
San Diego fan.
In the NBA, only one game yesterday, game 6 between the Nuggets and the Timberwolves. Minnesota opened up a can on the Nuggets, 115-70 even. I almost said 9.
All right, that one works. He's
Done.
so proud of
Yeah.
himself. The Timberwolves beat the brakes off the Nuggets. That was a 45-point romping. What happened?
Whoa,
What-
hey,
Did
look,
you
who,
get
a
look,
text?
look who's texting me.
Who is it? Hang on, let me look at
Okay,
this.
look who's
It's
texting me.
Alicia Keys is texting you. Get the hell
Take
out
another
of
lap.
here. Hang on, I'm opening up. Wait, what's your here? We're gonna hold it on your face.
It's it was 0058. Same as my
okay, here it
okay, yeah, she
Bank
wants me to buy an album or something.
Spam. Spam by Alicia.
Part of the Van Club. That's
We
all.
were all impressed for like
That's all.
3 seconds.
No, we weren't.
Dude, I'm not even kidding you. He gets
I
text
know.
from Alicia
I was
Keys.
there the day he called and listened to the Alicia Keys voicemail.
It links you back to her Instagram account.
Yeah.
Didn't you guys present
That's
her
great
family?
marketing.
Yeah.
I'm a
Come
little
on.
jealous. I'm gonna start
Man
sending you
is
texts as
on
well.
fire. Is that Alicia Keys?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. That's
Okay.
it.
Well,
You guys
listen,
want to call her?
We're excited. You actually, we should give her a buzz. Just give her a quick buzz.
Yeah, let me. I got her saved as Alicia.
All right. While you're calling her, Richie, why don't you tell everyone in the room how it was that you turned from big Rich into like medium-sized
Well,
Rich?
Yeah, listen, I have scaled down the shirts. I used to wear double X, and
Call
now
Alicia.
I'm down to XL talls. As it turns out, I was tall the whole time, but I was wearing these tenty big XL shirts because I needed to make room for this gigantic belly that I had. I call it a soggy midsection. You know, for years, I kind of looked like a melting vanilla pudding pop. But over time, with the great advice from Wayne and Chloe at sdfatloss.com, we were able to work all that weight off. And did I do it with exercise? No, I didn't. Did I do it with counting calories or points? Absolutely not. Did I do it the natural way? I did. Right. With Wayne and Chloe at sdfatloss.com. And you know what? If you go to sdfatloss.com, you can save $200 right now by just mentioning the show, Big Rich, TD, and Fletch on San Diego Sports 760.
Before sdfatloss.com, Alicia did not text me.
Boy is on fire.
I'm just saying.
sdfatloss.com. Lose some weight today.
It's been a long week and the fellas are thirsty.
Scott. Here it goes down into my belly.
It's time to cruise into the weekend. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch present Bar Card Friday. Brought to you by Keg and Bottle, with the best selection of bourbon, whiskey, tequila, private section bottles, and more.
My problem is I drink too much, way too much. I get my doctor a urine specimen. There was an olive in it.
Now, let's pour some drinks.
Big Rich, TD, and Fletch wrapping up the show today with a couple of barrel picks from Woodinville Whiskey Company. We tried the bourbon. We tried the rye. We tried the port cask finished whiskey. Everything we've tried this morning is delicious. We also had the barrel-aged maple syrup inside of an old-fashioned. We're joined by August James O'Mahony. Just your standard issue.
Oh,
Nando.
Yeah. Standard issue, hairless Irishman.
That's it.
Yeah. Mahoney.
Yeah.
Join us in studio. Is this going exactly as you expected?
I love where the piano came in after Hairless Irishman.
We're professionals, okay?
Broadcast
Fletch on the ones and twos over there. There's a love connection in studio growing, guys.
Oh, yeah.
It's a nerd fest in here.
Yeah, we can feel it.
Yeah.
We can feel it.
Yeah, John Fink and Kim talking Star Wars, talking Simpsons.
Talking, what was the exact, what did you say about his shirt?
He said it was cromulent.
It was a cromulent
It's a
shirt.
cromulent shirt and no lap necessary.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
What the hell's a cromulent?
I don't know.
Is that an omelet mixed with a croissant?
No, but close.
I feel seen.
It's close. We're gonna try the barrel selection from Woodinville. First, the Rare Bird. And by the way, this brings us to a discussion point here. Tony, how did Woodinville really get discovered and put on the map?
Well, I wouldn't say like discovered, but it definitely like catapulted their status. There's a guy named Fred Minnick. He's kind of like the who's who in bourbon judges, and what he says kind of goes in the bourbon world.
Yeah.
And so he was doing a blind barrel pick, a blind like
Tasting
rating, tasting.
Yeah.
So, number one, Pappy Van Winkle, 23 year at the time. And then number two was the Michter's 20 year.
I believe, yes.
Yep. And then number three, an unknown $50 bottle, pull it right off your shelf, of Woodensville.
Yep.
And he went like berserk on this thing. Oh my goodness, what the heck? It's Woodensville. Who is Woodensville? How could it win third place?
Yeah, he kind of freaked out. It was a shock for us to even know. We didn't submit the bourbon. It was a fan of ours sent it in and thought that he should taste it, and they just put it in the mix of all these other whiskeys.
No way.
And so he blind tasted like 10, 15 different whiskeys, and we came up right under the very best
So guys,
Kentucky bourbons.
Wow.
23-year Pappy these days, $6,500.
Yeah.
20-year Michter's like $3,000, like insane. Okay, and then $50 at the time. This was like 3-4 years ago. So we had already Keg and Bottle had already discovered Woodensville and had already did a barrel pick with them. And so right when this was coming out, they're like, hey, what would you like the barrel to be called? Because each of them get a name at the bottom. If you look at the name, Rare Bird is on one of these, Breaking Bourbon is on the other one.
Oh, yeah.
So we called it Insta Famous because they instantly became famous when this happened. So our barrel pick was Keg and Bottle's Insta Famous Woodensville.
And you remember Raj Bhakta when he was in with us,
Yes.
the Whistle Pig and then Bhakta.
Yep.
He was telling us rock one, stock one. What was the other?
One
Drink
to rock,
one.
one to stock. What was the other term he used?
One, it's something to break, one to take. Either way,
Well, yeah.
I can't wait to try. So this is a barrel selection.
Buy two, so one of them in 10 years from now, when it's worth $5,000, you can sell.
Right.
So funny story. The guy that he talked about, Pickerel, was at work for Raj. These guys met Raj. Raj was here.
Oh, amazing. Yeah. Amazing whiskey company.
We hung out. We're going to Vermont.
Dude's got a hell of a story.
We're going to Vermont. We're actually going to college.
He had a lot of stories. But yeah, the first one on the left is Rare Bird 101, David Jenkins. Amazing guy who is also a legend in the bourbon world. His palate is like top notch.
Whoa.
So he got to go and experience and taste.
Whoa.
And this is what he selected from all the barrels that were there.
This is like salted caramel.
But I want you guys to go back and forth. Leave some in your glass there.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So you're going to try one. You're going to try the next. And
Okay.
it's going to show you the difference that can happen by being on the, maybe on the top of the rick house, the lower of the rick house, different woods that were done. So there's no blending here. This is exactly how nature intended. The proof points are going to be exactly how it came out of the barrel. And so, what's the proof points on
Is it
either
is
one
100,
of those?
100 proof?
They're going to be.
It looks like the one on the left is 118.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
The one on the right is going to be 120.
Okay, yeah. So the one on the right, right's a little more fiery.
That one's like a flamethrower. But I'll tell you what, up front, like that caramel and the saltiness and the sweetness of the. I mean, I'll tell you what, we didn't have a single bad sip today. August, thank you so much for coming in. That was awesome.
So what do you got to do?
Yeah, get you some Woodinville whiskey. You know what? Come on, Father's Day, June 16th. Don't sleep on it. Go ahead and order some. Order the gift set for $99. Order the barrel picks.
Oh, the barrel picks are like the best value in the market. Look what they were up against, and they beat them. So, absolutely.
Don't miss, man. Woodinville, absolutely fantastic. Thank you again, August. Who do we thank?
Thanks. Start with August. Thank you for being in here. Tony Conja, you're the man. We freaking love you. Desi Banks was in studio a little bit earlier. Kim Hallisay, fresh off her promotion, in studio with us. Aaron Bauman, the fourth voice on our show. John Fink with the worst shirt I've ever seen. Take a lap. It's a pun and a Star Wars shirt. Decide what you want to be.
Two things real quick. 877-767-4760. If you want to win those Strike Force tickets, you got to call in 2 minutes. Be caller number 5. You're going to bring a friend to Strike Force today. Also, coming up on Monday, we'll tell you about Scottie Scheffler's weekend. And follow us on Instagram, Big Rich TD Fletch. We're going to be at Disneyland all weekend long.
Hashtag free Scheffler.
Hashtag free Scheffler. The herd is next.